Hi guys, we finally got our pieces for a great new toy and I'm just about ready to start building this thing. Wait till you get a load of... All right, let's get this ICE plane built. Ice, ice, baby. Dun, dun, doom. Man, I friggin' love ice and I love that song. Hey y'all, this here is one hell of a machine. This is a plane I made out of an ice box. Wanna come with me to see it fly? I have the perfect place to go test this thing out.
Wow, that was pretty funny. I guys all got to see that live because it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there on the replay because it's going to get a copyright, so I'm going to have to pull it. I didn't realize it had that whole song in there, but you're going to hurt your neck, yeah. Detroit Avenue. Let's see who's here tonight. What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. Got a good show planned for you tonight. First of all, I have to scrub through all Snarf's comments here. He was going a little crazy. What's up, Snarf? Great to see you. Standing by, yeah, so now I gotta come all the way through here and see. Kimberly was here. Plenty of better things to be upset about. Kimby, I'm sorry, Kimby's Dirty Kitchen. Rachel's here. What's up, Rachel? Wrench Turner's here. What's up? Jammed it, yep. Snarf, well, yeah, Super Jim, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. Ice. You buy now says ICE agents are starting to run up Minnesota Somalis. The kids will never leer. That's right. Catherine K. Hello, Jim and Jimsomniacs. We'll be working out, so can't read the chat. That's okay. That's okay. As long as you're here, that's all that matters. Hey, Geek Sharkman's here. What's up? Happy Monday. Great to see you. Kelly's here. Great to see you. Pat Hacker's here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Michelle, hey, how you doing tonight? What the F's here too? What's going on? Terry's here too. Great to see you. Diamond G, what up? What up? What up? What up? Charvon's here. Great to see you. Jay Schwartz is here. Greetings, all. Snarf, rum. Drink the rum. Rum and Cokes, yes. And then Anne Marie's here. Hello. How you doing? Nanny Goat's here, paying tribute to the YouTube gods. And Marissa's just coming over from Barry Cunningham. Jim was really chasing squirrels last night. I'm trying to entertain everybody, and I don't know. Sometimes I get off topic. Hey, Life Isn't Different is here. What's up? Great to see you. Muffin Rando. Hey, what's up, Muffin Rando? Great to see you. Nanny Goat. Our next president. Yes, it is. Yes. Ice Baby. There you go. Kevin, your neck's going to hurt. Well, it's going to hurt. It's going to be what it's going to be. So, Sunshine. Hey, what's up? Great to see you. It's always wonderful to see you here. Yeah, what's up, Arizona Merce? What are you doing? How's it going? Lisa, yo ho, what's up, Lisa? Great to see you. All right, A1A Detroit Avenue is a beachside road in Florida. I always thought it was Beachfront Avenue. I don't know, but then again, who knows? Anyway, what's up, everybody? It's Monday. Got a good show planned for you tonight. A bunch of stories to talk about. As usual, there is a goal, as there always is. So the way the show works is it goes for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours usually, unless we hit the goal of $100, and then we add an extra hour. And then for every $100 come in, we add an extra additional hour. And that could be anything from YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Super Tips is available now, which is a little wanky for me to use it, but it still will work. And if you use Super Tips, it only takes 10% of the money. It's using Stripe, so it's like a credit card processing thing. So it's all like, nobody has your information. It's all through Stripe, so it's supposed to be protected. We'll see. I don't know. And then also there's Cash App and PayPal, which the links are pinned. And then there's this thing, Coffee, Ko-Fi. There's also, gifted memberships or becoming members on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, and I don't know where else. And there's locals coins and stuff like that. But anyway, we add it all up. And then when we hit 100, we add an extra hour. And then when there's an added bonus, when we hit 50, we activate the Bellavision for the evening. And there's Bella just chilling out, just chilling there. I'll fix her camera a little bit so everyone can see her better, because I don't know why sometimes the camera just don't. Now it's all, how did it get all crooked? How the hell did it get all crooked? That is so weird. There we go. That's better. I like that better. It's still crooked. I don't like it when it's crooked. It bothers me when it's crooked. Anyway, so yeah, unless, and of course, someone donates an individual donation of $25 or greater, which could be a super chat or a Rumble Rant or anything, or it could be gifted memberships. $25, 5 gifted memberships would give you automatic television, stuff like that. Don't adjust. We don't need to see your 9 toes. I have 10 toes. My dog throws pillows off the bed as a cover. Yeah, she's constantly moving the bed. I try to adjust it, and it just doesn't work out. But anyway, there's Bella. She's alive. You can see her blinking and everything. Bella to the main stage. Yes, if your song is playing. So I want to thank everybody who's here. Please remember, hit the like. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and all that stuff. And let's get into the news. Why don't we? I don't know. Should we get into the news, or should we get into some weird stuff? Let's get into the news real quick. Assaults against ICE agents are up 1,300%. Vehicular attacks are up 3,200%. Death threats are up 8,000%. Wow. Assaults against U.S. Customs and Border Enforcement officers. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or CBP, it's all up all over are up 1,300%. Vehicular attacks are up 3,200%, and death threats are up 8,000%. The Department of Homeland Security said after a U.S. citizen was shot and killed during an alleged vehicular attack in Minnesota earlier this week. The difference is my dog throws a comforter off the bed, so my other dog can't get under it on the bed. Oh. Federal authorities argue that the shooting was justified in self-defense. Local and state officials say otherwise. Well, we saw the videos. It is. Let's see. There's a rant, they say. Uh-oh. Well, look at that. Bella now. Bella now. Bella now. Bella now. So it's Bella now. Bella now. Bella now. Thank you so much. Life is different. Yes. And 3 years to go. Thank you so much for the rant. I'm demanding when I'm sick. Well, there she is. My ears are ringing. Wow, what is going on? Yeah. Bella now. Was it freedom now? Freedom at last? Freedom at last. I had a cat that dragged all the bedding off the beds when he was pissed at us. Yeah, cats can do that stuff. Cats can get really pissy when they're angry. You won't like cats when they're angry. So thank you so much. And with that, now we are $75 away from the first additional hour of the show since we hit the Bellavision. Did you say the Department of Homo Security? I might have. I don't know. I'm slightly under the weather. I think I got a touch of the flu right now. I'm not sure what it is. Something is bothering me. So, one day after the shooting, 2 Venezuelan nationals were shot by a Border Patrol agent after they attempted to run them over with their vehicle in Portland, Oregon. Yes, and the Department of Homeland Security said DHS also describes the shooting as self-defense and justified. Chat. We had a cat in the middle of my brother's pillow when he got a girlfriend. She was jealous and psycho. The girlfriend was jealous and psycho, or the cat? But bumps. The 2 Venezuelan Tren de Aragua members weaponized their vehicle against Border Patrol agents. Yes, and the agents took action to defend themselves and others. Oh, the cat. Yes, I know. I thought maybe your brother dated Amber Heard. Yes, yuck. After the shooting, the Venezuelans fled the scene. They reportedly drove 5 miles to an apartment complex where they called emergency medical services and were transported to separate hospitals. Venezuelans, Luis David Nino Mancada suffered an injury to his arm, and Yorlenis Bezdebeth Zambrano Catredes was hit in the chest. There was silicone everywhere and is currently in FBI custody. Your cat is pouncing on you at the moment. I have a car that hides when hubby home. A cat, yes, my cat hides whenever anybody's in the house that is doesn't live here. Like when guests are over, the cat hides and only comes out late at night when everyone's asleep. Only one day after ICE officer was almost ran over in Minneapolis, 2 vicious Tren de Aragua gang members let loose on American streets by Sleepy Joe Biden weaponized their vehicle against Border Patrol in Portland, said Tricia McLaughlin, Assistant Secretary of DHS. The agent took immediate action to defend himself and others, shooting them. Thankfully, no law enforcement was injured, and the criminals fled. Hey, what's up? Downtown DCAT is here. Great to see you. Zambrano Contreras illegally entered the U.S. in 2023 near El Paso and was released into the country by Sleepy Joe Biden, according to DHS. Since illegally entering, she's played an active role in Tren de Aragua prostitution ring and was involved in a prior shooting in Portland in July. G. Sharkman says, I watched my niece's 2 cats for 2 weeks. Never met them. Jim has an imaginary cat. No, I don't. My cat doesn't hide, but he's different. Okay, off the TV stream. All right, cool. Thanks for being here. Hey, Simply Davies here. What's up? Great to see you. Why, did we get raided by somebody? Nino Mancado illegally entered in 2022, was released in the country by the Sleepy Joe Biden administration. Oh, so we did. I believe that's we did get a raid. We did get a raid from the Off-Label podcast. It took Rich forever to raid. All right, no problem. Thank you so much. I think I do follow you on Twitter, Dave. I just can't remember what your handle is on X to send you the invite. Anyway, but thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it. So I was going to send these guys a from the Off Label podcast an invite to come on the show tonight, but I couldn't find him on Twitter. And I swore I followed him, and he followed me. I just need his screen name to get it. Enforcement actions continue. Mm-hmm. Oh, he was also given a final order of removal from federal immigration judge. So enforcement actions continue as attacks against ICE officers have increased by unprecedented numbers in less than 1 year. By November, assaults against ICE officers had increased 1,000% and death threats by 8,000. Simply DV on X. All right, let me do this real quick. Sorry, people. It says that account doesn't exist. Simple, not simple. There it is. No, there it is. Alrighty. All right. I sent it to you if you want to come on. ICE and Border Patrol officers also experienced a historic surge of vehicular attacks. By November, there had been 71 reported vehicular attacks against U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officers, including Border Patrol, compared to 45 attacks during the same period in 2024, the Center Square reported. Over the same time frame, 28 vehicle attacks were reported against ICE officers compared to 2 attacks in 2024. Is it just me, or is Jim out of sync tonight? Is it my audio out of sync? Or is it... it's possible. I don't know. Or wait a minute. Why am I not seeing it here? Huh. That's weird. That's weird. Audio's fine. Okay. All right. Never mind. Over the same time, from 28 attacks were reported against ICE officers compared to 2 attacks in 2024. That percentage has increased nearly threefold, 3,200%. The Minneapolis and Portland shootings are the latest of several that have occurred since last fall. In September, Mexican national Silvero Villegas Gonzalez was shot and killed after he refused to follow law enforcement commands and drove his car at law enforcement officers. One of the ICE officers was hit by the car and dragged a significant distance. In October, Mexican national Carlitos Rodriguez Ricardo Parias, a TikTok content creator, was shot after ramming his vehicle into a law enforcement vehicle and then fleeing the scene. He was hit in the elbow. U.S. Marshal's hand was struck by a ricochet. Federal judge recently dismissed federal charges brought against Parias. I don't get this. Also in October, U.S. citizen Carlos Jimenez was shot in the shoulder after federal authorities claimed he accelerated towards federal agents during an immigration operation. Why are they dismissing charges? That doesn't make any sense. Why? Mm-hmm. Let's see this. We'll pull this up and see.
Car attacks on ICE agents have skyrocketed more than 3,200% in a year, DHS reports. Officials blame sanctuary rhetoric after a deadly Minneapolis incident, warning that demonizing law enforcement is fueling violence, assaults, and unprecedented threats against federal officers nationwide.
Wow, that's crazy, right? Yeah, so attacks have spiked significantly in 2025 from the same time last year. Hey, Lady Bama's here. What's up? Great to see you, Lady Bama. Hey, audio synced up here. Great, Captain. Great to know. Thank you. Because they love beans? Maybe, I don't know. So the department blames radical rhetoric from sanctuary politicians, which, yeah, I mean, these politicians keep going out and saying that, oh, ICE has no authority. They keep telling the people that ICE basically, like, they're like security guards or something. They don't have any, like, they're federal law enforcement officers. They have all the same powers as any other federal law enforcement agency. I mean, it's not really Seems kind of dumb to say otherwise. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. But anyway, that's my opinion on it. I don't understand why they would. All right. That's better. All right. Now I feel better. Proof of lag on the wrap. Oh, okay. Homeland Security reported 275 assaults during Trump's 2025 term compared to 19 in Biden's 2024 term. Wow. Let's just say if you're not out arresting anybody, you're not going to run into anybody that's going to do anything. That's usually how that works. Vehicular incidents also occurred mostly when protesters or illegal immigrants attempted to flee law enforcement. One in a recent incident involved Juan Carlos Romero, an illegal immigrant from Cuba who was taken into custody by ICE after unsuccessfully attempting to evade arrest. Life is Different says, can we just implement a rule that any judge who dismisses a case without cause is automatically removed from the bench? I think so. Did you see Walt sign an EO in 2020 that said Minnesota officers are within their right to use force if a vehicle is trying to run them over? I didn't think it was an EO. I thought it was an actual law that was passed in Minnesota. You literally watched it happen. He drove into them on BG and his scene stream. Hey, what's up, Jonah? Protesters are brainwashed, perhaps by MK Ultra. It's possible. It's very possible that that's happening. Very possible. But you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Steve Hilliard, what's up? Great to see you, buddy. Great to see you tonight. Romero tried to escape by ramming his car into two officers and multiple vehicles, causing officers to defensively fire their weapons. Another incident when Tiago Alexandre Sousa Martins, an illegal alien from Portugal, rammed his van into ICE vehicles and attempted to run over officers during a targeted enforcement operation in Maryland. According to ICE, when officers asked Sousa Martins to turn off the vehicle's engine, he refused and drove his van directly at ICE officers attempting to run them over. Maybe this is a problem with the sanctuary politicians more than anything. Democrat rhetoric, demon rat rhetoric has caused a massive surge in assaults against ICE agents. I mean, look at this stuff. Trump's ICE is the Gestapo. How long till Walz resigns? I don't know. Demon rats have been attacking America's law enforcement with dangerous, reckless rhetoric, painting ICE and police as villains, while encouraging defiance and even abolition. Yes, that's what they're doing. Governors, members of Congress, and big city mayors alike have likened federal officers to Nazis, secret police, Gestapo, you name it. Yes, follow the money. That's what it's all about. That's right. Framing those who enforce the laws as enemies of people. This constant vilification isn't harmless. It fuels threats, division, and chaos, while officers put their lives on the line every day. Yes, Spud says money is a good brainwashing tool, too. Yes, it is. According to a new report, the rhetoric is working. Federal immigration officers are under assault like never before. DHS just revealed the numbers that should shock every American who believes in the rule of law. He was an illegal, so maybe he had officially dismissed the charges so he could get deported. No, these are just judges that are coming up with weird reasons to dismiss the cases. I don't get it. Yeah. These are not random acts of violence. These are deliberate attempts to intimidate and injure law enforcement officers in the performance of their duties. The rhetoric is likely what inspired Renee Good to use her vehicle to run into an ICE agent in Minneapolis last week, forcing him to defend himself with deadly force. One day after an ICE officer was almost ran over in Minneapolis, two Trendy Hour gang members let loose on American streets by Biden weaponized their vehicle against Border Patrol agents. DHS is placing the blame squarely on the sanctuary politicians and their inflammatory rhetoric. McLaughlin accused them of creating an environment that demonizes our law enforcement and encourages rampant assaults. She points to Mayor Frey that told ICE to get the F out of Minneapolis after the shooting. Dangerous criminals, whether they be illegal or U.S. citizens, are assaulting law enforcement and turning vehicles into weapons. Want to support fearless journalism? Yeah, go to PJ News. And then in other news related to this, it says the Tren de Aragua pimp who attacked Border Patrol agents with a car in Portland, charged with assault. Well, there's his car. Look at he rammed into him. So, yeah. Anyone who crosses the line of assaulting an enforcement will be met with the full force of the Justice Department. Justice Department on Monday announced charges of assault against the illegal alien in Portland, the member of the Tren de Aragua gang, and a newly unsealed federal complaint. Luis Nino Mancado, a Venezuelan national, faced a charge of aggravated assault on federal officer using a deadly weapon. The incident sparked outrage from the left when initial reports said he had been shot by ICE agents in response to the ramming, which came just a day after the leftist activists in Minneapolis tried to run over ICE officer there. Anyone who crosses a red line, assaulting law enforcement will be full force of the Justice Department. That link didn't work? Oh, what? Okay. Hold on. Okay. I don't know why I have that. I don't know why I have that link then. I had that link pinned. I don't know. Maybe I screwed it up. I give you a new one. We do not accept non-halal Sammys. Okay. Hey, what's up, Lenny Lou? Great to see you. Hey, there he is. Is that my internet or yours? That's weird. Just okay. There you go. Is it working now?
Now it's good.
All right. I was wondering, is that my internet or yours, or it's StreamYard? StreamYard's weird.
Yeah. Listen, it's better than OBS. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I don't know. I have to. I've been trying to get OBS to work because I have some kind of this new super tips thing that's out there that they have that's became available widely to the public, where they do like voice tips and other stuff, and they only take 10%. It's all through Stripe, so they don't. You don't get any information from the people. They don't. It's all through Stripe, so it's all through the credit card processing thing. So you don't. There's no like risk of anybody's information or anything getting leaked or anything like that because you don't have anything. It's all through Stripe, and they only take 10%. So it's a great system.
Yeah.
But you have to use StreamYard. You have to use OBS to do an overlay to get it to play and do stuff.
Well, you can use EV Mux also, because I was talking to Yankee about it, and EV Mux has an overlay, so you can probably do it.
Well, yeah, but I've already paid for another year.
Yeah, I know
that's StreamYard, and I'm not about to just go. Oh, okay, I'm just going to throw that $800 away because that's what it is now for a year for StreamYard.
Jesus.
Yeah, and go to EV Mux, but I would probably change when it comes time next time. But I'm just trying to make it work and. I could get everything to work, and I could see it on the screen and all that stuff, and it worked. And I could hear it in my headphones, but it doesn't play out. And I'm like, all right, what am I doing wrong? I see it. It shows on the Roadcaster. It shows on OBS. I hear it, but it doesn't go out. It's like, all right, something's weird. So I don't know. Anyway, tell these people about yourself.
Oh well, hi guys. How are you? My name is Davey, but I go by the name Simple Davey. I'm just a simple man viewing the world in simple ways. I do multiple podcasts, so if you go to simpledavy.com, you will see all the podcasts that I'm associated with. I do off-label podcasts, 7 Central, 8 Eastern during the week, a business party podcast on Tuesdays, Lights, Camera, Citation on Fridays with Darnell, Killer Games Cast Mike, and Shammy Threepeat. If you are familiar with Sean and Gina's Third Railify chat, their program, I'm usually there with those gentlemen. And now I do Simple Gaming, usually like Sundays or something like that. Around it's in the afternoon, where I play video games and listen to music, and we just hang out and just chill on a Sunday afternoon, just getting ready for that Monday. Getting ready.
What video games do you play?
Well, I was playing Arc Raiders. Whatchamacallit? I started playing these 2 other games that that Finn Boy Slick sent me for my birthday. They're Luthen Hot. I don't even know what it's called. One's called Downwell, which is pretty good. They're actually pretty good. Downwell, I don't think they're expensive either. It's like an 8-bit game. You're just falling down and you're throwing grenades and shotgun shells, quote unquote, an 8-bit shotgun shell out of your rectum. It's kind of weird, but it's a fun game. And then Luft Trouser is a 8-bit. It kind of looks like an Atari game, and you're just a plane that just flies back and forth, and they're trying to blow you up, and you're trying to blow up other 8-bit, ships and other flying things,
Yeah, I got really into Arc Raiders. I was playing it pretty heavy over the holidays and stuff like that, and I don't know. I mean, but now I don't know because I maxed out. I'm level 75, so you can't get any higher. I finished all the quests, so you can't do anything with that. I found like 60 something blueprints out of the 75 or whatever. I think it's 75. So I got almost all the blueprints. Your chat's not disabled.
Oh, we see you, Anne Marie. Shout out, Anne Marie. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. But and I just don't get it. Like I the whole thing with the expedition, I don't understand it. Like, why would I want to abandon everything that's like like it took me forever to do this stuff. So
yeah, but that's I think why it's because once you've done everything and received everything, you can go and do expeditions where you can redo everything, and then but with the expeditions, I believe it's more. I don't know. I don't
get it though. I don't understand the game. I don't, because it's like, why you spend all this time doing it and then you're going to give up all the blueprints and have to try to find them all again. And they keep changing the game. They keep tweaking the game and making it harder to kill the stuff and doing things. It's like, what are you doing, man?
I'm the typical 1 to 2 times a week player. So, I was listening to some of the other guys like Ninja and all them talk about it. They're like, yeah, I think we killed this game because we did everything so quickly and so fast. And now everybody's like, oh, it's boring. And he's like, but the 9 to 5 guys who just, come on here every once in a while, they'll play forever, so. But I mean,
unless I don't know, I was more into, I thought it was like Fallout, but like kind of like a Fallout game where you could play with other people. So I was like, this is cool. But I don't like you go, you go get stuff and then you're leaving, you're in the elevator, typing it in, and all of a sudden someone just walks in and shoots you in the back of the head and takes your stuff. It's like, wait a minute, what? Basically the game is like, whoever shoots first in a PvP is going to win. That's the game. And it's like, wait, that's not.
Yeah.
That's just, you got to I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it, but I don't know.
I mean, they've got the Division 3 coming out pretty soon, and I love the first 2. The Division, if you ever played that, if you haven't played it, I would download it. They're great games.
Yeah, but that's all. I mean, I'm only playing, and after a stream, I'll go play for an hour or 2, and I just do like the cold snap or the electromagnetic storm thing, stuff like that, or night raids, just trying to get the rest of the blueprints. I want to get all the blueprints.
Well,
that's basically it.
That's what you got to look forward to now instead of completing everything. But
yeah. So.
Well, what are we talking about here?
We're talking about the increased attacks on ice, and what's massive spike.
No, according to the left, there is no increase in any of this.
According to the government, which I don't know if you believe the government, well, they said, well, this is this guy that was charged with it, but according to the government, it's up like 8,000%.
Yeah, it was 1,000 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So they charge this guy, and it's what's weird is they keep charging these people with crimes, and then for some reason the cases keep getting dismissed by judges. It's like, what is going on here? They didn't dismiss any of the cases against the people on January 6th for anything. The people that were just outside walking around.
They didn't even charge them with anything either. They just held them.
Yeah.
Most of the people were just held for until Trump pardoned them. Yeah. And and then the one guy got out and he did something. One guy, I think he murdered somebody. And they were like, see, Trump lets out murderers. And it was like one guy out of 1,500.
Yeah.
But don't let facts get in the way of their fucking delusional fiction, because
it's brutal. It is. It's brutal. I don't I've been getting the more and more stuff I'm covering, and every night I do this. Just about every night I do the show on news. It's depressing, man.
Yeah.
Seeing this, it's really depressing.
Well, you got people who aren't the smartest people telling other people who aren't smart, plus young kids that, the government is just trying to look for people of color just to murder them. You have, people.
Well, here's the
out there-
thing. I don't know if you know this or not, but we have a very good segment on the show called White or White, because for some reason, all these people of color that they're arresting and deporting are all listed as white.
Yeah, I saw that. So I used to live in Topeka, so I'm a part of some of the Topeka stuff still. And one of them is the mug shots at Topeka. And I was scrolling through, and there was a guy whose name is Alfonso Ravasso Bajante Alvarez, and it said white. And I'm Puerto Rican, so there's no Puerto Rican. There's everything else except for Puerto Rican. So, and then you have to choose white. And then it says other, and then you can put Puerto Rican or Hispanic.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the only reason I bring it up and talk about it is because the left likes to throw the stats and go, look at all the crimes that white people commit. It's like, well, if you just have two categories, black or white, then yeah, the other, and when you think that you got like basically 13% of the population is on one side, and you got the other, 87% of the population, and you go like, oh, look at these, there's more. It's like, well, yeah, there should be.
Listen, when you grow up impoverished, it only teaches you, it further teaches you how to, steal and rob and go for milk and not come back. And, all those wonderful things that life teaches you. And now you have to go out and be a person. And some people just don't get how to be a person. And
I see stories like Ben Carson, like Justice Clarence Thomas, people who grew up very poor, dirt floors, and somehow they didn't have these problems. So that's why I don't believe it's, it's more of how you're raised than, who raises you and what they teach you. When you grow up in a society, in a family or a society where it's a constant thing where it's, oh, this is just the way it is. You do this stuff. And, like that's what we're seeing with all this fraud. With all the fraud, it's just, that's their culture, is if it's not nailed down, we're going to steal it.
Thank you, U.S. government.
The U.S. government's making it worse. I mean,
no other country besides maybe Canada will do that for you.
I mean, I'm seriously considering that this debt that we have, the $38 trillion, it's probably all fraud. It's probably all money that just gets no explanation where it goes, why they keep spending. Like, how can we spend $2 trillion more than we take in every year? Something's wrong here.
But once again, it's not only one side; it's both sides have been doing it forever, and then now people are finally realizing, And I say that now because I live in this generation, so I'm seeing it. But if you talk to people who are older than us, and back in the day, they'll probably tell you the same thing, that the government was fraudulent with a bunch of shit.
They were. I mean, you go back any number. I mean, go all the way back to just after the Civil War, with all the corruption that was going on with the different businesses, the railroads, and different. It's always been corrupt, but now it seems like it's way amplified. It's just basically anybody who wants to do it, the government's free, willing to do it. I mean, there's all these programs. When you look around the different states and you start examining it, it goes like Minnesota. Last night I talked about Minnesota has a program where if 3 generations of your family haven't owned a home, they give you $50,000 as a down payment. So basically, that's anybody who just came to the country is going to get $50,000.
Well,
for a down payment.
82% of people who've lived in New York less than 6 years voted for Zoran Mandami.
Right.
It tells you a very big, a thing about these people just coming to America and not assimilating, which you're supposed to do. Go to any other country in the world and don't assimilate and watch you fail and fall on your face. And they'll send you back. They don't even want you. Some countries don't even want you unless you have a certain amount of money in your bank account.
Yeah, no, you're not well, it used to be that way too. In the U.S., you weren't supposed, we have to change the stuff back to the way it was before, where it shouldn't be just, oh, well, you got one. Basically now it's like if one person gets in, they can bring 50 family members with them, and it doesn't matter what anything is. They just, come on. And it's like, no,
I've always wondered, why so you have kids, you've been here 30, 40 years, you have kids who are adults. If you were planning on becoming an American citizen, why didn't you just have your kids sponsor you?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're technically adults at 18. You could have had them sponsor you because they're Americans, and then you could have done it the correct way. Or you don't become an American citizen because they're not looking at you or bothering with you, and you just stay because you know nothing's going to happen. And even if they oust you, you can get back anyway. Yeah. So it really, there's no consequences.
Well, I'm hoping, the Supreme Court has got the case for the whole birthright citizenship thing, which people say, Trump's trying to take away birthright citizenship. He's not. He's trying to say that the 14th Amendment says specific words that mean specific things, and that if you come here as an illegal alien or you come here as a visitor, it's in there. It's all the legislative record that if a visitor, sojourners, aliens are not included in the birthright citizenship. So if someone is technically, the 14th Amendment does not grant citizenship to children of illegal aliens. It doesn't. They've just been doing it and no one stopped them.
Well, and it brings out a bigger question though. Like, so you come here, you have a child. The child's an American citizen. Now, they don't pledge allegiance to this country because now you're telling them America is this awful place that you've come to. You've come to this place, and now you're convincing your children that this is an awful place to be. So you should get into politics and then change everything that has made this country so great that even though it's so racist and the police are killing people at an alarming rate, but you still, risk life and limb to get here, you tell them to go into politics, and then now their kid who's grown up hating America is in American politics, and they just make laws for their own people.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I challenge anyone who thinks that the police are killing people at any type of alarming rate to look at the stats. Look at the numbers. Check the 70s, the 1970s compared to today. In New York City, the police every year were killing more people than the entire United States does now. In 1 year. Like, they were schwacking people like crazy in the 70s. And there was less people in the United States then.
Yeah. It's insane. The mindset of the person of the progressive is brain rot. Is absolute brain rot. And there's no convincing me. Listen, a couple years ago, I might have been with like, hey, maybe maybe there is some hope. No, there's absolutely the amount of people allowing to call for the death of American citizens, mind you, online, and just being allowed and nobody does anything about it is alarming. It's alarming.
I don't understand. I don't get. That's what's getting me more upset than anything is what the Trump administration is not doing. Like, yes, they should be arresting these politicians that are, making these threats. This sheriff that's saying that she's going to bring the smoke to them, and those are threats. You can't do that. Well, that's against the law. She
backed up. She backed out and was like, well, we do transportation. So, I was just talking about they're not allowed in here. We're not going to do anything about it. That's the local PDs. That's not what the sheriff. Yeah. No, that's not what you were saying. We know what you were saying.
No, but that's the thing is the comments that they're making make the crazy people go, oh, well, these people believe, oh, these ICE officers, they have no authority to do anything. No, if you commit a crime in front of any federal law enforcement officer, you break the law, any federal law, they have the authority to arrest you for violating that law. That's like, get pulled over. You ever been pulled over by a conservation cop in your state for speeding or anything like that? Oh, they do it.
Conservation?
Conservation. Yeah, believe it or not, the most powerful police officer in your state is the conservation police. Who? They can search your house without a warrant.
Who are they?
Like the people at the game wardens.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they can come. All they have to do is have say, I think he's got, poached meat in his house. They can come in and search. They don't need a warrant. It's insane. It's been upheld by it's nuts. They have like weird, crazy authority, but yeah, they have they're just supposed to be checking hunting license stuff, but they can enforce any law. They could pull you over for speeding. They could arrest you for anything because they're still sworn officers to uphold the law and enforce all the other laws. Like park police? Like park police. They still enforce the law. Like if there's a murder in front of the park police, they go, hey man, we're just here to stop littering. We can't, stop them. No, it's like
they were for.
It's nuts.
I thought they were there just to protect the dodo birds.
No, but they still enforce all the laws. Like they'll stop you for taking too many fish in your boat, it's nuts, man.
Aaron, it's
Yeah, they like Jonas says, they go on your property without a warrant. They post trail cams. Yeah, they could do all types of stuff, and it's been all upheld as well. It's fine because there's it's weird. Like if there's no fences and stuff, then it's a thing. If there's actual fences, there's some gray area, but there's ways around it where they can get around it. But
that's insane.
anyway, so let's see who's here. HR Biggs, can you take me higher? Maybe. Trank guns would be nice. I saw a piece on Somalia's supported from the UK and the US not adjusting well to being home. Yeah, well, there's a huge boom. I don't know if you know, there's a huge housing boom in Somalia. All this money pouring in, and they're building all these new houses and stuff for people. And they're all like people that are in America and other places buying them and moving back to Somalia. Or, Just the news reported Somali couriers in Minnesota bring suitcases of cash right through customs to Dubai or Kenya. 750 million or more. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're taking it right out. And they're using the Hawala Walla Walla Bing Bang network to send it out. And you know what that is, right?
Durka.
No, they have a thing. They just send it out, and then it's basically the same system that was used by the Templars when they were when people were traveling to the Holy Land. They would, instead of bringing cash and getting robbed on the road, they would get a note with some stuff, and then they would go and get the money when they got there. It was just like an exchange. It's the same thing because they don't. Let's see. Someone says I got a rant. I got to pull this up. Let's see what it is here.
From Spuds.
Some Spuds. All right, let me pull this up here. Can you explain how that worked? I can explain how it works. I worked for the environmental police. Spuds. Oh, okay. Well, all right. I mean, I know I got pulled over when I was in my youth by a conservation cop, and I made the horrible mistake of going, you can't fucking pull me over. And as I was tased and put to the ground, and then got told, yeah, they can.
You got tased?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Not good.
I was thinking about letting Darnell do it to me.
Not good.
Just for fun. For funsies. Because, you know why? Because I want to ride the lightning.
But I don't know. But I thought it was funny to pass him up doing 120. So technically it was reckless driving and all that. But whatever, And I was like, oh, he can't do anything. He's a conservation cop. No, they can.
Yeah, apparently they can.
Yeah.
They tase the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, fuck you. You can't do anything to me. I ain't giving you my license. Go fuck yourself. And he's like,
you got speeding and drive without a license.
Yeah. Anyway, so this guy who, this Trendy Araga guy, finally got charged in Portland. And they like to bring it up to go, oh, there was no charges. See, in the federal government system's a little different than the local system where you could just levy charges. In the feds, they have to get indictments. They have to do certain things certain ways. It's not like an immediate thing. So a lot of times it takes yes, Jim F.A. F.O.'d. Yes, I did. That was in the 90s. And it was not a good time. Although I was having a good time. But anyway, it's a long story. I used to believe me, I've had many wild experiences I won't talk about. But I grew up in Chicago, so there you go.
I mean that's the good stuff, the stuff that you used to do. Listen, I never heard a story that started out with I was eating broccoli, and then this happened.
Yeah, so this guy Mankato, who's behind the wheel, legally entered in 2022, was released by Sleepy Joe Biden, and he had prior arrests for DUI and unauthorized use of a vehicle, was already under a final order of removal. And that's another thing I don't understand. Like, they keep talking about due process. Like, that is the due process afforded for illegal aliens. Is you go to the immigration judge and they say, no, you're not. Do you have a right to be here? No. Do you have any claims to asylum? No, you have no claims. All right, you have to go. That's the law. Like you came in illegally. You don't have a right to be here. You have to leave. That's the law. They go, well, no, they need to go they want it all to go to, they want it just to be delayed and go to Supreme Court and all. It's like, no, it's not. These courts are not supposed to be involved. That this is what happened prior to the 90s. There was all these problems, and basically Congress was like, no, we have to stop this. That's why they set up the immigration courts. And that's the authority Congress has. They could do whatever. No, it was the state police, Illinois state, whatever. It's like Illinois Fish and Wildlife or whatever. Or conservation police, I think. I don't remember exactly, but it's what it is. It's a state, basically they're the same as state troopers, basically. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I found that out. I found that out before I left Jersey like 5 years ago that, like park police are actually, because I used to speed by those motherfuckers and they didn't bother me. I mean, I wasn't doing like 90 and a 45. I was doing like 75 and a 65, and they didn't bother me. But yeah, until a couple years ago, I had no idea. And then somebody told me that, and I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, they could pull you over if you're breaking the law.
Well, it says in New York, I think he's saying the ecological and forest rangers have state police powers, but usually call locals or states to actually apprehend a scofflaw. I used to work with them and the federal DEA agents. Yeah. Franks and beans, not a bearded clam. Yeah, so this guy was running a trendy Arago prostitution ring, and they're claiming it's his wife, but there's no proof they're married. Is a prostitute that was doing all this stuff, and they rammed an ICE agent and then got shot.
Here's the thing with due process and like you're trying to explain something to a 2-year-old that's throwing a fit. They're not going to listen. They don't understand. Even if you explain it, and I said this on our show today, I stopped arguing with people who are progressive because they don't listen. They don't want to listen. They just want to sound profound. They want to sound like they know what they're talking to. They want to it's the old, you remember In Living Color?
Yeah.
Remember Damon Wayans when he was the prison guy? And he was like, the capitulation of the gentrification of the economy. That's all they are. That's all.
Well, I think they want to get you talking in circles and try to get you to give in on any space, whatever, to go, well, I guess. And then once they do that, I got you. And that's it. You admitted. It's like, no. So that's why I just go, no, sorry. No.
Yeah.
No.
And they're like, oh, you want us dead. Well, yes. After you just said you want me dead. And then you're like, well, because you want me dead. No, you're the one who said, I don't even know who you are. Yeah. You're spouting all this nonsense online. And then you want me to be like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to fear you. Yeah, I don't
get it at all. So it says that Makata shifted the vehicle in the reverse and slammed into an empty Border Patrol vehicle with enough speed and force to cause significant damage. He then drove forward and backward, repeatedly hitting the Border Patrol vehicle several more times. Well, that sounds like, believing he was about to hit nearby agents, an officer fired his weapon before they sped away from the scene. He parked the truck at an apartment complex and called 911. When officers arrived, he reportedly said, F ICE. Both individuals were transported to the hospital to be treated for gunshot wounds during subsequent questioning. Mikado allegedly acknowledged that he deliberately rammed the Border Patrol vehicle in an effort to escape. And that's another thing, too, like they're saying with this Renee Good thing, like, well, she was just trying to get away. It's like, that's called evading. Fleeing and evading, or fleeing and illusion, whatever it is, all these different, eluding. It's like, these are crimes that you're not supposed to do. Yeah.
She was very delusional. Yeah. Well, I mean, she just decided that, like, and once again, talking to these people, they don't understand it, because we literally showed a video where some girl was showing them that he was actually hit with the cell phone video, and they're like, no, that wasn't it. He jumped out of the way, and that's why the video jumped and sounded like it hit him.
There's another video where you could see him, and I saw CNN or somebody go, well, he was pushed by the vehicle. He wasn't hit by it. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Pushed by the vehicle.
But that I argue with not argue, but I say this all the time, is what progressives will do is tell you it's a portal with a knob and hinges. And you go, you mean a door? No, it's a portal with knobs and hinges. And you go, so you're talking about a door. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it knocked into him or it hit him. She still took her car and did something that you shouldn't do. By the way, there's 3.5 minutes of video of her blocking the entire road. And the cops let her stay there until they were done and had enough of her nonsense. Then they pulled up. It wasn't she was back. I've even heard people say that, oh, she was backing out of her driveway. The cops pulled up on her, and that's when... And
she was dropping her kids off at school. It's like, no, she wasn't. That's a complete and total lie. And then, like, her wife should be arrested also. All the people involved in this ICE watch thing, that, like, they're planning to do this. They're planning to commit a crime. That's a conspiracy to commit a crime. The crime, when she got killed, that puts them all on the hook for the murder.
Yep.
Like, that's black letter law. Like, arrest them all for conspiracy. Like, I don't get it. Why they're not doing this? They know who's funding the stuff. They know where the money's coming from. They know it's these people. Why are they not doing anything about it? That's the thing that pisses me off more than anything. They're just complaining about it and yelling about it and go, like, no, like, honestly, I would start arresting judges. Well, that's what Lincoln would do. Be Abraham Lincoln.
But here's the problem with Trump, and for as much as I like the man, he wants to be liked so fucking badly, and it bothers me so much. It's like, yeah, I get it. You want to be a liked president, but they're not going to like you. So do whatever you got to do. Do what you're supposed to do. Do what what people voted you in for. And I just and I'm starting to think more and more that the swamp is just way too deep. It's just way too deep. You have all these Republicans voting against him, not allowing him to do what the people want him to do. And his ego is he wants to be liked. He wants to do what everybody, because to be honest with you, once again, the whole vax thing, he told his supporters to go get vaxxed, and everybody told him go screw.
Yeah.
And nobody listened to him. And they're
I never got the vaccine. I was like, no, that don't. I'm like, I remember. I'm like, wait, I remember the bird flu vaccine that you guys had that was all crazy. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, this. I got it. I got over it. I'm fine. I don't need a vaccine. I'm good.
Well, and then you got people going, well, your orange Cheeto Jesus said to get it, and I go, I don't give a fuck if my mother told me to get it. I don't care.
What was weird too is all the people, like even Kamala Harris, all those people that said, I'll never get that Trump's vaccine. I'll never do this. Then immediately, as soon as they got into power, it's like, no, you have to get the vaccine now because we say to get. It's like, what? Like, no.
Remember the winter of death?
Winter of death and destruction. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, where'd that go? What happened there? These people don't. I don't understand how these people get elected, especially Hank Johnson I think it's from.
Guam's gonna flip over.
Guam's
tip over. If we send any more Marines to this island, aren't you worried that it might tip over?
It's my favorite clip in the entire.
I mean, that was and the admiral going like, "We're pretty sure that that's not going to happen."
Well, Guam is the size of 12 by 2, and I'm afraid if. And the general's just sitting there watching him like, is he really this? That's what you're going with. Oh, okay. No.
The congresswoman that died, and I can't think of her name, from Texas, that was talking about the moon and the sun. You never saw that clip?
No.
And she's like, well, the moon is the sun is very hot and bright, and so is the moon, and that's why we go at night. Whoa, like it was crazy. It was during the eclipse stuff, like, and I'm trying to remember her name, but it was and I was like, oh man, she just died recently. She was from Texas, I want to say. What the hell was her name?
Yes. Oh my God, she used to be in our opening or closing, and when she was talking, I forget her name. When she was talking during the eclipse and trying to put the glasses on, she missed every single time she tried to put it on, and then was looking up at the sky, and then told everybody to pretend to look at it. She told them all, pretend like you're looking. Sheila Jackson Lee.
Sheila Jackson Lee. Yeah, she was a man. Oof. They're maybe waiting closer to midterms. If we get nothing, I probably won't vote for us, the sitting senator. Well, I don't know. Let's see. And so you're saying they got her cell phone? Imagine, like people are saying, like, oh, like like why don't they have her phone? Like they could get her phone. They just get a search warrant. You got evidence of a crime. You got evidence on the phone. You can't keep it. You get it. And same thing with the other. There was another guy who videotaped stuff and then put out the video like the first 3 minutes and then said, I got the rest of it, but I want 10 grand. It's like the feds just go get it. You just go, no, you have it, and if you destroy it or don't give it to us, then you get charged with a crime. Yeah. That's you stop playing games with people. Like the Biden administration, look at the shit they tried to pull, all the stuff they tried to pull, paying people money to get Trump and the different shit. They twisted everything around, which stuff that the Democrats did in the 60s and the 70s and 80s for the alternate electors. All of a sudden they said that's a crime now. It's like, you guys did this all the time. This has been going back to the 1800s this happened.
Do you remember the hanging chads? Every
I remember.
Has contested the elections.
Every time a Republican has won, they contested it. This was the first time that a Democrat won and somebody on the right actually said, no, fuck you. Like Nixon could have contested JFK winning, but basically was like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to call it out, so I'm just going to let it go.
Remember the first Trump presidency where every single one of them were up and going,
he's not a legitimate president. He's not a real president. Yeah.
I mean, come on. And it's infuriating. And like I said, you have these people going online and saying these things on TikTok. You have these old, crusty, dusty old ladies, these white liberal retards going on TikTok and just telling everybody that, they want to kill brown people and that women don't matter, while simultaneously telling you that trans women are women or trans kids are kids are whatever they are.
And I don't like. I personally, I'm like, if you're an adult and you want to maim yourself, do things, I think you should be in a mental hospital. But hey, go ahead, do what you want to. You know what I mean? I'm whatever. Get help, whatever. But kids, leave kids. Like that's what they've done is they've gotten into the schools and they are brainwashing kids. Like it's insanity. It really is.
There's a graph that shows the amount of left versus right and what they teach in schools. And I think history is 96% vote Democrat for history. For history. So you're having revisionist history taught in your child's classroom, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So who knows? But anyway, I got another rant that says, let's see here. I got to pull it up. For $5, Ellie says, joining late, catching up at 2 times speed. Ask Ricada for help with super chats. Love to see you make more money and receive it more quickly. Love the show. And Bella, thanks. Ricada's supposed to, I talked to him. He said he was going to jump on a StreamYard with me and try to show me how to fix it. Because I don't know. I'm like, 5 hours I was messing with the other day and I was going nuts, and then I was told basically like, well, I talked to the guy who runs it and he's like, I would have to come on and look at your settings. I don't know. There's something set wrong. And I'm like, well, just tell me what this,
Does Ricada use StreamYard also?
I thought he used OBS and StreamYard and Super Tips, because I know he's a couple times where he's like playing something. He's like, oh, you guys aren't hearing it. And then he has to do something to make it change some setting to make it go out. And then there's another guy that I know uses OBS. He's supposed to come and look at it and see if he can figure it out, because I don't use OBS. I tried, like when I first started streaming, I tried OBS. I tried using it and I was like, no, I'll just pay the money and have it where I just click and I don't want to deal with all this.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
But thank you for the $5. Yes. Well, how this show works is that we have a goal every night, and for every $100 in total that comes in, super chats, PayPal, Cash App, memberships, whatever, I add it all up, and we add an extra hour to the show for every 100. And the longest show it's ever been like 12 hours one time. It was a 12-hour show once.
Jesus.
So normally we get an extra hour or two every night, but we'll see how it goes. But that's how it works. And so that's the thing. And then we got the Bella Vision. They like to see my dog that just sleeps the whole time.
Oh, is that is that live?
Yeah, that's the dog right there. See?
Oh, I thought it was just a picture. That dog hasn't moved.
Sometimes she'll run around and stuff. Other times, I don't know.
I swear to God, when you started and I jumped on to see if when you were on, I swear I thought that was just a picture. Your dog hasn't moved since.
You can see her breathing a little bit if you watch her. But anyway, let's see. My brother's an epidemiologist, especially in horse pace replacing for my area. He convinced me to get the vid shot. I don't hate him yet. Yeah. Well, I mean, some people are fine. Some people weren't affected by it, but a good percentage of people have problems because of it, because it caused issues. Like specifically, young healthy men develop myocarditis because of it. Like it's not, that's not cool, man.
Yeah, no, they're just mysteriously all these people were dying out of nowhere. These healthy soccer players, all of a sudden, who weren't murdered by their, government. Just dying in the middle of the field. You got pro athletes. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your senator's up for re-election, Todd Young. Todd Young is one of the rhinos that keeps voting against Trump out of Indiana. There's a select group. Him, Tom Tillis. Surprisingly, Josh Hawley seems to be getting weird, which I thought he was good. And now why he's voting with Democrats to say Trump needs to stop blowing up boats. It's like, what? No, blow up the boats. Blow up more boats.
Well, here's the thing I have about that is that we don't know what's always in the bill, which I would read the bill, but for some reason, I think a lot of this stuff that are in this bill are a lot of pork, and that's why a lot of this stuff doesn't get. They throw something in at the last minute, or they throw something in that they know is not going to, do anything. It's not going to go anywhere, just so they can say. Because I remember a bill that they tried to pass, something about the military about 4 or 5 years ago, and in the bill for the military, they were giving money to, I think, they were giving money to Russia and Ukraine and Taiwan and China and Palestine and Israel. And they were like, that's not what's in this bill. And then they were going, no, you just don't support the troops. You don't want the troops to have good Medicaid or Medicare or whatever, or whatever they get. You just don't want.
Why are they passing? Here's the thing. The Republicans, they suck. They all suck.
Yeah.
All right. I hate them all because the Republicans get into power and they go, well, the spending's been out of control. It's like, well, what are you going to do about it? We're just going to tweak a little bit. We're going to cut back the increase. We're going to lessen the increase. They wanted to increase 8%. We're only going to increase 4%. So we're saving you 4%. I said, no.
Yeah.
Less spend. When I say cut the spending, that means less than you spent before, not just don't increase it as much. It's like, whoa.
Just like you did to USAID, just cut it off.
Yeah, but then they did all that. Everything they've done with Doge, none of that stuff has been codified. Hardly any of it. Like the Republicans are like, no. That money, because they're all getting paid. Their money's all coming around. It's like all this money that the fraud stuff, like through all this Minnesota and the different fraud schemes, it all goes out to these NGOs. It's all coming back in Act Blue. That's where all this money, like everyone's like, well, where's the money coming from for all these people? Like James O'Keefe exposed all the, like these people. It says like, oh, it says here you've donated $770,000 to Democrats last cycle, and the old lady's like, I am on a fixed income.
Yeah,
I only make. It's like it's like no way. I gave maybe $50, I think, and it's like, and this is like a massive smurfing thing, and it's going on, and that's where all the billions is coming from. Also, probably through that crypto guy that was basically taking money. Sam Bankman-Fried was taking money and putting it back in. There was money going to Ukraine that was coming back around through, and
motherfucker took my money because I that was where I got it. I first got into crypto. Was in FTX because it was so easy. It was just like, here, put your Fidelity account, just put some money in here, buy some stuff. We made it as easy as possible for you. Congratulations. And the next thing I know, I'm getting an email going, about that money. You lost it. Thanks.
Well, I had bought like over 200 Bitcoin when it was $30. And I sold it when it hit 150 because I thought, man, I just made a bunch of money and this is great. And right now I'm like, oh, dude, wow.
There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, I had Bitcoin when it first came out. I bought like 10,000 shares. Then I sold it. Hit $100 and sold it. I made some good money. Then you're going, now what? Now how do you feel about that?
Yeah,
or people just lose it. They're like, I bought Bitcoin all these years ago. I've moved 6 times. I don't even know where that wallet is, and I wish I had it because if I did, I'd be a billionaire. Well, obviously.
No, I did lose a few on a flash drive somewhere, and I just don't know. And I don't know. I've got, I don't know. It's been so. I guarantee I've looked and like I think it got thrown out at some point. So there's like 2.5 Bitcoin sitting in a thumb drive that when I was mining Bitcoin
in a landfill somewhere
now. But
Staten
that was
Island.
Many years ago, like over 15 years ago.
I don't understand crypto either, Anne Marie. I have no idea. I just go, okay, sure.
I think it's the same as the stock market, a pyramid scheme scam. The stock market's a pyramid scheme scam. Anyone don't want to, it's like, it's just new money has to come in to make it go up. It's really nothing else besides people putting money in that makes stuff go up. That's it. There's nothing like what it's worth. The company, it doesn't matter what the company's, numbers are or how much money they make or anything. It all has to do with what people feel. Mm-hmm. People get mad and short, and it's just what happens.
And then when a certain stock decides people decide to dump a bunch of money in a certain stock and watch it rise up, then the FCC or whatever, the FTC just decides that it's just going to, we'll just halt trading on it because it's going up too quick and too high, too fast. And you're like, well, isn't that what this is supposed to be about? Isn't that, the way people make money? Nope, can't do that.
I don't know what's going on tonight. We got like that's like a quarter of our normal viewers. What the fuck is going on? Oh, Joe went live. Probably everybody over there. Oh well, shit happens. Anyway, so they finally charged this guy with the shooting, and so that's that. And then let's do this. I'm gonna do over here and do some of this because I'm gonna do some good stuff here. So we'll talk about a few things. So we got. We got Jamie Raskin. I don't know if you know who Jamie Raskin is.
Oh, of course I do.
They've gone from citing A Few Good Men to citing Andor to explain why Trump isn't actually the president. Remember what Nemec said in Andor. Tyranny requires constant effort. It breaks. It leaks. Authority is brittle. Oppression is the mask of fear. Like, this is sedition. It really is. This is sedition. It's just crazy.
There will be times when the struggle seems impossible, alone, unsure, dwarfed by the scale of the enemy. But remember
Talk about
this,
dwarf. He's a dwarf.
freedom
Is
is a pure idea.
He's a short guy. Oh,
it
yeah.
occurs spontaneously and without instruction. And then remember this, the imperial need for
Fake cancer
control
hair plugs.
is desperate.
Yeah. He faked cancer to pretend that, and wore a thing while his hair plugs were taking. That is brutal. I mean, he didn't ever said he had cancer, but he just kind of like, oh, I'm recovering from, a medical, and was wearing it's very sleazy.
Yes.
Forging Freedom says Bitcoin is the exact opposite of a pyramid scheme. Only 21 million could ever exist. Some of them get lost, as you say, and they all get bought up in a more rare scarcity. How do you know that only 21 million are ever going to exist? I mean, all the things that were promised with it that they said is completely untraceable was a complete lie. Who created it? It was created by a government. I hate to break it to you. It wasn't created by some Japanese dude. It was created by the NSA. That's who created it. To track money. They can track everything with it. Everything. They know where they all go. They know where they are at all times. They have, everything. It was all bullshit. It was a psyop to get people. I mean, it's great. It's gone up. People love it. But all the promises of anonymity and how you could do trading and, about the government, none of that is true about Bitcoin. None of it.
Yeah, I mean, the government has nothing to say about when you go to a Bitcoin ATM machine and, they have to take out their fair share. The government has no idea about that.
Yeah.
Or when you sell it.
No, they want it. They know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying that's how they track all this stuff down. The government is constantly going out and snatching Bitcoin from people. A couple 100 million here, a couple 100 million there, and you're like, where's it going? They just keep it.
Yeah.
So let's see what else he has to say, Mr. Hair Plugs.
Because it's so unnatural. Tyranny requires constant effort. It breaks. It leaks. Authority is brittle. Oppression is just the mask of fear. And know this, the day will come when all these moments of defiance will have flooded the banks of the empire's authority, and then there will be one too many. One single thing will break the siege. Remember this, try.
The fact that they're talking about an empire and breaking and destroying it just because the person that was elected by the people they don't like is insane. Like, the right never attacked the government as a whole and the institution and the constitutional system because Biden was president. We said Biden sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But they are attacking the whole system that gives them power. Like, what are you doing? Unless you don't believe the system is real and you want a different system, you want communism.
Yes.
That's what I think it is. They all want this revolution, this communism. They think they're going to have, they're going to be the oligarchs with power. They're going to, I don't know.
Well, I mean, once again, they're trying to tell everybody, all the shows are trying to say that the Democrats only have an 18% approval rating. And yeah, they do. And the reason why? If you polled them and asked them if they're a democratic socialism, I guarantee you that makes up the rest of the percentage of Democrats that there is. because they're now democratic socialism. They're not. They're no longer Democrats. Democrats aren't far enough. They're socialists. So they're going to say no. They hate the Democrats. They're socialists and communists. So yeah, that's why the Democrats.
The thing everyone needs to remember too is you're never going to vote your way out of communism or socialism. It doesn't happen. It's never happened. The only way to get out of it is you got to fight your way out of it.
Just as Cuba and Venezuela.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't he promise he was going to keep Trump out of office this time? Did it work? No.
Yeah,
these people,
he was at his book signing and said that they're never going to let him in again. They won't do it. And then what happened?
Making fun of Mormons because I'm a Mormon. I have no problem with Mormons. I think the Mormons I've all met are some of the nicest people I've ever met. Like, I don't know if there's some mean Mormons. I've never met a mean Mormon. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever met a Mormon.
Yeah, you have to shoot your way out. Yeah. Yep. That's the only way to get out of it.
Well, I mean, listen, you could shoot your way out, but they took your guns, so you don't have any.
Yeah. So let's see, we got that, and So.
I mean, in our interview on Friday we had this past week, we interviewed Yoel and Mari. He's a Cuban refugee, and he's in America now, and his videos went viral for him seeing a Walmart for the first time, getting his paycheck for the first time. And recently, she woke him up at 5 a.m. to tell him that Maduro had been taken by the United States government, and he celebrated. And all his Cuban friends and family all celebrated. And then the white saviors came out and told him that, no, that's a bad thing. That it was, Then they got mocked mercifully and hated because they went to Charlie Kirk's funeral. They're both centrist. He's from Cuba, so he really doesn't have too much of an American affiliation, but she's American and she's a centrist. And they got harassed online for going to Charlie Kirk's funeral when she said she just wants to go see what it's like. And it was a big event. So
let's see. There's some local news about this guy charged.
There is new information tonight involving 2 Venezuelan immigrants who were shot by Border Patrol agents last week in Portland. Both immigrants have been released from the hospital. The Department of Homeland Security says the shooting happened during a targeted arrest. Now, one is detained, identified as Luis Nino Moncada, who faces federal charges. He appeared in court for the first time this afternoon. That's where we find Fox 12's Julia Lopez joining us now live. Julia, what can you tell us from inside the courtroom?
The courtroom was full today as Nino Moncada was arraigned on 2 federal charges: assault of a federal officer with a deadly or dangerous weapon and depredation of federal property exceeding $1,000. Now, we aren't allowed to bring cameras inside the courtroom, but after his release from the hospital, Nino Moncada moved slowly and spoke softly. A preliminary hearing is set for Wednesday, and in the meantime, documents detail Border Patrol agents' accounts of what prompted them to open fire. Court documents show agents were targeting Yorlena Zambrano Contreras, who was arrested by Border Patrol 3 years ago in Texas and never checked back in with immigration.
What's with these eyebrows? You see these eyebrows? Like what is with these eyebrows? Why are they doing this?
Well, it depends.
They shave them off and then they paint on new ones. Like why?
Because it depends on how much she gets paid, whether or not which color eyebrows she's going to have for the day.
I mean, I've seen Nancy Pelosi's the funniest with the eyebrows that are like up here on the top of her forehead. It's like, what are you doing?
She's got eyebrows up here. She's got eyebrows under here. She's got eyebrows down here. I mean, listen, she did marry a gay gentleman, so
yeah,
she's
wow.
She has no idea.
Yeah, I still want to know what happened with that whole hammer attack thing. That was weird. Like the video doesn't make it any better. Where he's like, they stand there. Oh, what's going on? It's like, yeah, and all of a sudden it's like,
and nobody opened the door.
Yeah.
If you watch the video closely, both of them, one has his hand around his back, the other one's got a hammer, the other one's holding the hammer. Then they're both their hands are in the front. Who opened the door?
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. Let's see what's it say. Gundam says he can fix the reporter. Well, if she's fixable.
Hey.
authorities. The Department of Homeland Security says she has ties to the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Investigators say when agents surrounded a truck they linked to her in southeast Portland, driver Luis Nino Moncada appeared nervous, with Zambrano Contreras in the passenger seat. Portland police confirmed both have ties to Tren de Aragua. Court documents say that after Customs and Border Patrol agents identified themselves, Nino Moncada rammed an empty CBP vehicle, then shifted between reverse and drive, striking it multiple times and causing extensive damage. Investigators say agents on the street told them they feared being hit, and one fired 2 shots into the vehicle, which then fled. Nino Moncada and Zambrano Contreras were found about a mile away at the Bria Apartments, where they called 911 and were taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds. Documents also tell us investigators have found no video of the shooting. None of the 6 agents were wearing body cameras, and they say Adventist hospital security cameras did not capture the incident. Investigators say Zambrano Contreras...
Yeah, they would only be wearing, the body cameras they're not running all the time. The batteries are not that powerful. They turn them on, turn them off, and they use them very sparingly. Like they should have, the fact that they should be having drones, they should have videos. And I can't believe that in a city, especially a city like Portland, unless they got rid of all the cameras, they used to have cameras everywhere.
Well, that was the thing for, remember that guy that shot up?
Yeah, at MIT, or not MIT, the Brown University, that they took the cameras down because they didn't want them to be able to use them to track illegals.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yeah. You can't make this shit up. Orwell couldn't imagine any of this.
No, that's
Orwell's I wrote a book. I didn't mean for this to come true.
It wasn't a guide. It wasn't a how-to manual. It was a warning.
Yeah.
But but this stuff, we've been warned. Ayn Rand warned us. We've been warned.
But even if we had, they did have cameras, they're still not going to believe them, just like they don't believe that she hit the gas and tried to run the cop over, even with video of it, of him being hit. They don't believe it. So it doesn't matter whether or not they had body cameras.
You see the interview with I think it was, I can't remember her name, where she was talking to Tom Holman, and she starts saying, well, do you have any proof that she was a domestic terrorist? It's like, what do you have? What do you mean proof? We have what she did, her actions, but yet the woman has no problem saying, well, she was just scared trying to get away. She was very scared. How do you know she was scared? Who told you she was scared? Where do you come up? They make up their own shit to put in for them. But then when you say stuff that's provable, what proof do you have? Well, my eyes are the proof that I saw her, smiling, giggling, and pointing, and then the other woman saying, drive, drive, drive. And then she hits the gas, the wheels spin, and she turns at the cop and comes, the cop did not move. She moved the car to put the cop in front of the car and then floored it.
Yeah.
That's kind of saying you were trying to run the cop over.
Well, it's the same thing with the Proud Boys and Antifa. You're labeling everybody a Proud Boy, but Antifa doesn't exist. Meanwhile, these morons have tattoos of Antifa. They tell you they're Antifa for 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden, Antifa is just an idea. There's no head of Antifa. Can you find somebody who's in charge of Antifa?
There actually is people who are in charge. They know who they are, and it's foreign funding. And that's the thing. They schedule and they have training sessions. They go to Cuba to train with the other Marxists around the world that all come in. The Palestinian. It's all this leftist shit that's been going on. That's allowed to go on way too long and has to be stopped. I don't know if it's. I don't know. I don't know why. Are they afraid that it's not going to? It's going to get tossed out of court, or it's going to look bad. I don't know.
Well, Trump did recognize him as an international terrorist group, and so you figured as soon as you did that, if you go and say I am Antifa, okay, you are Antifa. It's an international.
Yeah, Nadler said they're a myth, but Nadler also shits in his pants every day. So.
That guy's fucking short too. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Contreras had been surveilled after incidents last year in Washington County, including a July 7th prostitution dispute when shots were fired at an apartment. Ballistics from that incident later matched casings from a July 11th shooting in Portland, also linked to Tren de Aragua. Documents also note a personal history between Moncada and Zambrano Contreras, including a protective order last year claiming she hit him with the car and threatened to kill him. The shooting Thursday prompted anti-immigration
Just a normal married couple.
protests throughout Portland over the weekend. What we've learned so far is the federal government's account. Now, we just minutes ago got a statement from the Oregon.
She have
Oh,
Tourette's?
she's got something going on with her eye. Look at her eyelid.
She have
That eye.
Tourette's?
Minutes ago, got a statement from the Oregon public defenders representing Nino Moncano, who they say is lucky to be alive. I'll read from that statement now. They tell us Border Patrol agents, quote, have accused him and his passenger of unrelated crimes and have claimed without evidence that he is a member of the Tren de Aragua, just as they have said about many other Venezuelan citizens. They go on to say, quote, now in Portland, just
The Portland police chief said that they were known members of Tren de Aragua when he was crying about it. So, that's another thing. Like this National Lawyers Guild, these lawyers and all these other the unions, like the teachers union, all these unions that are involved in all this stuff, they all need to go down. Like you can't do this. You cannot conspire to overthrow the government like this. It doesn't work that way.
It's a coup.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Treason.
Do you remember what the government did to Waco? What the government did to Ruby Ridge? I'm not saying that should happen here. Like, no, you don't go, but you go arrest the people. Like, they're doing things like this is way worse than anything that McVeigh, or not McVeigh. I don't know if McVeigh actually did anything, but we'll get, it's another whole story. So I've seen videos that something don't seem right, and where's the guy that was with them, and there's all this stuff, but we'll get into whatever. But, the fucking guy, the guy at fucking Waco, what was his name? Koresh.
David Koresh.
What did Koresh do? Like, they had weapons there, supposedly, which if they're right to have weapons, because we have a constitutional right to have weapons, so they had weapons, and someone said they thought they had machine guns. So they went, and that's what the whole raid was about, and they tried to,
Remember fucking Elian Gonzalez?
Oh, yeah, when they went with them to get him out, to go, that was,
One little Cuban kid, and they brought in the military.
Yeah, to go
Was
get
it
him.
92? It was during Clinton's administration?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all that happened under Clinton. Ruby Ridge, Waco. It was all Janet Reno, and and people like to they talk about this cop that shot this woman. Well, I think his name was Lon Chaney or some
Lon Chaney.
The ATF agent that killed Vicky
Yeah,
Lever. Like they tried to charge him in Idaho with her murder because it was not just in no way, shape, or form justified to shoot an unarmed woman in the head. They had no authority, you know what I mean? Like they basically someone gave the order, like there was an order, basically an illegal order telling them to just shoot people on sight, which you can't do. No, you can't. And it's like, no, there's supremacy clause. He was doing his job. If the federal government doesn't want to do anything about it, there's nothing we can do about it. There's a state. It got removed the federal court and thrown out. Like maybe this is what they're planning on is that the Democrat's going to become president, and then they're just going to start saying, "No, we're going to arrest all the people that didn't do anything wrong, but we're just going to say we're going to that they did."
They've told us that. The Congress and Senate have both said that when they get back into power, they will impeach Trump and go after every
Lon
single
Horiuchi was his name. Lon Horiuchi.
Oh, okay.
Lon Chaney, wasn't that a singer that in his hair is perfect guy that did wasn't that the guy who sang fucking Werewolf in London? Maybe.
Is that
Maybe.
I thought
Maybe.
But yeah, they've already told us what they're going to do, and people are okay with it, and it's weird, and listen, we're in the start of we've been starting something, and it just my personal feeling is, have you seen the movie Civil War?
Which one? You're talking about the one where what kind of American are you? That one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So the jug scene where they when they're going for the water and the girl explodes everybody, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. And if you watch it closely, she's carrying an American flag, so it's gonna be a false flag operation where somebody from the left is going to dress up in MAGA gear, just like they did on January 6th. They're going to run into the crowd and they're going to blow people up, and they're going to say, "Look, he had MAGA stuff all over them." And look what they did.
It was Warren Zevon was saying, where was London? Well, who's Lon Chaney? I know it's somebody. Who the fuck is Lon Chaney?
I've heard.
Why do I know that name? Why is it stuck? Lon Chaney was the Man of 1,000 Faces actor, famous for playing the Phantom and Quasimodo. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. I knew it was somebody. I don't know. Fucking names in my head all bouncing around like a fucking retard.
Like our Bud Dwyer.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's a politician that knew what he was supposed to do and did the right thing.
Right? Right. At least that man had some morals.
Yeah, like, okay, you got me.
You got me. I'm going to give this to you, this to you, this to you.
Okay.
This one's for me.
Okay.
See you guys later.
Oh, and it's okay. Lon Chaney was the werewolf in Abbott Costello. Is that what the whole thing about his hair was perfect had to do with Lon Chaney?
And somebody
Maybe,
said...
maybe that's why I'm confusing it.
Lon Chaney's the actor who played... Yeah, okay.
So
And they
maybe,
said Dracula, too.
Yeah, all right. He played Dracula. I thought... okay. We're chasing squirrels.
Like in Minneapolis and in Chicago, federal immigration agents have again harmed civilians in our community and have claimed that the victims themselves are to blame. Nino Moncano will be detained until the hearing Wednesday, the judge calling him a flight risk and a potential danger to the community. Zambrano Contreras is being held at the Tacoma Detention Facility, according to ICE records. Reporting live from downtown Portland, Julia Lopez, Fox 12, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Julia, thank
So that's that's what they're saying basically, like, oh, it's all this stuff, and they're gonna charge them, and they're gonna do shit, and then
And then they're going to let him go because of technicality and blah, 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 blah.
yeah. And then we got this story. I move fast. I go.
Yeah, you're good. Go.
Trump says countries doing business with Iran will pay a 25% tariff. Which I say we move fast, but I was stuck on that story for an hour and a half. That usually happens. I get stuck on a story, and then it's like, oh shit. So. That's why we call the off-label podcast the Squirrel Cage.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so Trump says anyone doing business with Iran will pay a 25% tariff. Huh.
Why? I just don't.
I
why are we
I mean,
meddling? Why are we meddling? Like, I don't. I really am sick and tired of bailing out other countries. Can we just stop?
I think I mean, and this might sound. I think we owe it to the Iranian people to try and correct the problem that we started in 1953.
Listen, we're going to have to pay back a lot of countries then.
I know.
We owe a lot of countries.
We started in 1953 where we reinstalled the Shah after he was overthrown by the people, and then there was a government elected, and then so we ousted him, the prime minister, and then put the Shah back in. And then in 1979, when the Shah started talking about nationalizing the oil, MI6 and the CIA decided that, well, we can't have that happen. So Peanut Head Jimmy Carter had them go ahead and foment a student uprising and then bring the Ayatollah back to get rid of the Shah. And look where we're at now. So we've already tried it. Maybe third time's the charm in Iran. I don't know.
Just let the people do whatever they want at this point.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think we should do anything like ourselves. Like, we shouldn't be bombing or doing anything, but we should maybe provide them with some help. Like, just like give them some stuff. Like, here you go. Like, we still have probably 250,000 to 500,000 Liberator pistols left over from World War II and pallets somewhere in a warehouse. Just drive a plane and just dump them out to them, and here you go. Have at it.
Just go grab the shit from Afghanistan that we left behind.
Yeah,
just
give
take
it
back
just,
for us.
here you go.
Give it to the
Here
Iranians.
you go. Have fun.
Here you go. Hey, we're gonna send a couple troops in there. We'll take some of those guys down. Just make sure you're at the right spot at the right time. Just take the shit and just drive back home. Have fun.
Yeah, let's say we are headed for all fiat currency heading back to the U.S. crash. Then we will revalue everything based on real asset value. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm shocked silver's up at $80.
Yeah, that's
man.
another one
nuts.
that I'm.
It's like,
That's another one I'm like, because I had a ton of silver and I sold it to buy my first house, and that was I bought it at 20. It went up to 45 at that point, and it was higher than it's been in a long time, and then now it's at 80, and I'm like, well,
Well, I remember in the 90s because the gold was at like 325, and then it spiked up to like 500-600, and so everyone was buying gold, and then it crashed. And after a couple of years, I was like, fuck this, I'm getting out of it. So I sold all the bars and coins I had at the time. And then I just never really paid, because I'm like, it's gold, it's up, down, down. It's not really it's got a thing they got to get in and then whatever. So, and now I'm like, oh shit, man, 3,000 an ounce. I'm like, what the fuck,
Yeah, listen, we all have that thing. You can never know what's going to hit and what's not going to hit, because then when the coins started going and everybody started buying into different coins and this coin and that. I bought Doge. I bought a couple Doge coins. I was like, what? It's like pennies on the dollar. I'll buy a couple of them and put a couple $100 in, and as soon as it hits, whatever, then I'll cash out. And Doge never really did anything, and it could do something in the next couple of years, but I got out of it, and then you never know.
Damn it, you guys! I don't know what that means, but anyway, then I don't know, but the most stable currency is actually is proved over time to be Thompson submachine guns.
Yes.
Because 10, in 1928, 10 Thompson, 1928 Thompson A1s could get you a house. And today, 10 Thompson submachine guns could get you the average house in the United States.
1 or 2 might be able to also.
Well, I'm just saying if you sold them at the market values.
Well, I mean, listen. It's
If you could take one in, you could get a house with one if you just went in there.
You could.
Yeah. So
Claim
effective
you're a squatter.
immediately, any country doing business with the Islamic Republic of Iran will pay a tariff of 25%, and any and all business done with the United States. The order is final and conclusive. The president did not provide other details of the order. No other order related to the Iran-linked tariffs have been released by the White House as of the evening of January 12th. The comment from Trump comes just hours after the White House signaled the administration could consider airstrikes or other measures against Iran. I don't think we should be doing any airstrikes against Iran. We should not be, because, you do stuff like that, you might hit the wrong people, you might kill, and just cause a major problem. But, it is interesting, though, that, the Biden administration on the way out got rid of Assad because they hated Assad because Assad didn't go along with them, and basically they have wanted a pipeline, a Qatar Turkey pipeline, whatever, to go through Syria, and they didn't want it, so they were able to get rid of Assad. So now we have a guy who is legit a fucking Al Qaeda terrorist, ISIS guy in charge, and it's like everyone forget about it that he had a $10 million bounty on his head. He's the president, and they're just ignoring it. So it's like, what the fuck? But Assad was the only leader in the Middle East that treated Christians and other religions, fairly, and didn't let them be persecuted, and protected them and protected their rights. And why did what the hell?
And then the mainstream media of the United States decided that he was a bad guy. Yeah. So then he became a bad guy. He became the baddie
based on lies because of these white hats or whatever they were calling them that were there that said that he's doing these bombs, these barrel bombs, all this stuff, which was all John McCain bullshit, lies.
Yeah, well, I mean,
none of it happened.
Listen, the same woman that interviewed Erica Kirk is the same woman that said that Tulsi Gabbard was an Assad toady on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and then when he was asked, what does a toady mean? She didn't even know what the fucking word meant.
You're a fucking journalist. You don't know what the word, you're not going to, this is the problem. You people who are telling us things don't know what you're talking about. And you don't know the words you're using. Words don't mean anything. When somebody says I'm a racist, yes, I'm a racist. Sure, no problem. You're a homophobe. Yes, I'm a homophobe. Sure, no problem. I don't care. Because these words mean nothing. When you're using words like they and them to identify yourself, so that way you have, one, it's telling me you have multiple personalities because there's they and them all in your head. But second, words don't mean anything anymore.
Have you been watching Landman at all?
No, everybody keeps telling me to watch it.
I was watching it, and at first I thought it was whatever this thing, and then I watched it, and I was like, oh, it wasn't bad. But now this last episode, they had to throw in the girl goes to college, and the roommate's a they them weirdo with all this stuff. I'm like, why'd you have to fucking do this? Why'd you have to shoehorn this into the fucking show?
Maybe it turns out a different way. Maybe they do something with it, and somebody tells them off that they're not a they them, or they find out they're not really a they them. Maybe they come back to realism.
No, I mean, what happened was they ended up leaving it was supposed to be the roommate, and then the mom's like, no, whatever, and they ended up leaving, not staying there and staying somewhere else. Jonah says, be a proud racist, realistic American combating insidious socialist tactics. Yeah. I'd be super happy if we could teach the world to pronounce the word especially correctly. Let me say there is no X in that word. I never said especially. I say especially. Especially.
Don't make me ask you a question, Freedom. I'm going to ask you a question.
She says, it's always been about the oil with Iran since the 1918 discovery. I have no idea why we took Assad off the board, but I'm absolutely certain Lindsey Graham had something to do with it. Yeah, Lindsey Graham and John McCain, whatever. There's weird stuff going on. Who knows? I mean, maybe Lindsey Graham has some kind of connection with with their... they have a thing over there with the young boys.
Bachabazi boys?
So maybe that's what's going on with Lindsey Graham. He's getting his Bachabazi boys, and I don't know. Something about that dude the fact that he's still pretending he's not gay, that makes me don't trust him at all. Because that dude is.
I'm so sick and tired of people pretending when the entire world knows. Like, stop. Like, listen, you want to be on the right, you want to be on the side of the righteous. Don't lie to yourself. You like to take it, go ahead, enjoy yourself, do whatever. It's going against the Bible, but go ahead. Don't tell me about the Bible if you're going to be there and be a sodomite, okay?
No.
Don't sit there and preach to me that the righteous indignation of you. And
well, that's the thing that drives me insanely mad is when the left, the people who are all for killing babies and for trans this and all this different crazy shit, start talking about what, try to put Christianity and turn it around on people. It's like, no. You don't get to do that. Yeah, you don't get to do that.
You have no humanity. You're inhumane. You and your friends murder babies on a daily basis. I saw somebody go around and say, that a third of your Gen Z, or what's the one after millennials, Gen Z or whatever, Gen X or Gen Z or something like that. They said that Gen Z, a third of their population has already been killed.
Yeah.
And they said from abortions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nuts. Oh, Pat Hacker's leaving later, folks. Okay, sorry.
Good, Pat.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't understand like why with modern science, with they have the morning after pill, Plan B, all this different stuff. Why, you just if you have unprotected sex and you're not sure, go take this pill, and then you don't. It's like never, what I mean?
Literally the next morning.
Yeah, the next morning, nothing has happened yet, really. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, still, like, technically, life does begin at conception. So technically you are, but I mean. That I could say, okay, we shouldn't make that because that's been in existence for a long time. They took medications and did things and teas and different stuff when they wanted to, do stuff. So I'm like in a perfect world, there should be no abortions. But
yeah, I used to be pro-abortion because I grew up in Jersey and New York. And
I see the dog's moving. The
doggy's moving. And it was for, certain things, the rape and incest thing and whatnot. But now that it's come to a point where it's just a contraceptive now. And that's not what it's about. And then you have people deciding up to the 9th month that they can no longer have it. And the lie that keeps persisting that they've made abortions illegal when there's no state that has made it illegal. There's states with, I think the earliest or the latest you can get into some state, it's 6 weeks. And then they try telling you, well, it should be longer than that because it has no cognitive thinking. It's still a baby. It's still a life inside. There's a reason why if you kill a pregnant woman, you're charged with double murder.
Yeah, all those states like California, Illinois, New York that you can have an abortion up to the 9th month. If you get in a car crash with somebody that's pregnant and they both die, you're getting charged with 2 murders or 2 manslaughters, whatever you want to call it. So. Jones says, we slid an ISIS terrorist right into Assad's seat, let him slaughter those Christians by terrorists who supposedly oppose him. Yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't. They were able to pull it off right as Biden was leaving office, though. Like, it was funny. It was like, how'd you do that? How are you able to pull it off? They couldn't do it all the time, and then they were able to do it. Eventually, it'll come out. Like, a lot of people don't realize the whole Benghazi thing that happened. Like, what Benghazi was, what they were doing was they were buying the weapons from the people in Libya to send to the fucking terrorists in Syria. It was Operation Timber Sycamore. That's what they were doing. That's what that whole purpose was. That's what was happening. I mean, it's in the movie. If you watch 13 Hours, they're buying the fucking weapons.
Yeah.
And they don't say what do they do with the weapons. They're, we're going to make these deals to buy these missiles to send. Like, we don't need them. So why are we buying them? We didn't blow them up. We were transferring them to Syria. Mick Stain, Klobuchar went to Ukraine and said, your war is our war. That was 2017. How did they know? Besides, Ukraine was to kill off its own people with cluster bombs. Like, the whole thing about Russia, like, what would happen if Cuba tried to kick us out of Guantanamo Bay? What do you think would happen?
Yeah, they'd just level.
Cuba.
They just go. Yeah, they just level Cuba. But we were in our interview, in our conversation with Yoel and Mary. They said that there's only one McDonald's in Cuba. And it's at Guantanamo Bay.
But like, because that's what the Obama administration and Biden and them tried to do. Basically, like, oh, we're gonna make Russia not a world power. We're gonna make them a regional power. We're gonna have Ukraine. We're gonna do this overthrow in Ukraine in 2014, and then we're gonna have them say, kick Russia out of Crimea, which Crimea was always part of Russia. Like, it was just when they did the weird split of the Soviet Union, they said, we'll just still make you this. They never thought in a million years that Ukraine was going to do what it did and be corrupted by basically corruption and power, money from the West, and try to throw them out of Sevastopol, which has always been a Russian port for hundreds of years. Like overall, it was like 150 years. It's been a Russian port city, always. And it's like you can't gonna take it from them. They're Russian people there. You might call them whatever you want. Like the thing with, to me, Ukrainians are fucking Russians. Ukraine was just meant the borderlands, was what Ukraine meant. The Ukraine. It's not. It's nuts.
I don't know. Red. I ordered the code red.
Yeah. But yeah, so so when the U.S. did that and then tried to tell Russia, basically we're gonna kick them out of Crimea. What do you think they're gonna do? It's the same thing. Like if like you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah, Greenland. Like Greenland, we have the base authority. We have a treaty that says we can put as many troops as we want on Greenland. It's basically our, there's only 64,000 residents that live on Greenland. Yeah. Right? That's a small city.
Yeah.
Basically in the U.S. So we could send 100,000 troops there and just hold a referendum and vote and have the 100,000 troops vote to, I don't know. You could do, they did shit like that back in the 1800s. They would go to towns, they would bring the military in to vote and take over the town. They wanted to, it's factual. Like when it happened exactly like that when North Dakota or South Dakota, one of the two, became a state or a territory when they were doing stuff, with Deadwood and all this stuff. They brought in the military to vote a certain way to put the politicians in that they wanted, as opposed to the locals. Because once they were, once they were there for 2 weeks, they could vote or something. There was some weird thing, but anyway, I don't know. That's some weird history shit. But
listen, but with Greenland, you have all these countries, Russia and China, are now making icebreakers.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're coming. They're coming that way. So that's why Trump wants to take Greenland, because then we'll have at least something there to be able to
why does Denmark want Greenland? For what reason?
Listen, nobody ever knew Denmark was listen, I didn't know Denmark was a part of Greenland until CNN said, oh yeah, by the way, they're owned by Denmark. This was like a year or so ago. And I went,
but
really?
Like if you look at the history though, technically it wasn't the Danes, it was Norway or someone else. It was a different country that had it, but then when they combined into a imperial whatever it was at one before they split back up again, and then Denmark kept it. So it's like, wait, so it's a colony. It was the Swedes or someone, yeah, it was owned by, but then it became like a Nordic imperial something or other. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not really, or Finns. Yeah. But why did they get to keep a colony? No one else has colonies.
I have no idea. But Spuds is right, Jim. If you put too many in Greenland, it'll tip over.
Yeah, maybe. It says the majority of citizens in Greenland are Inuit and are highly dependent on welfare. That makes their vote easy to buy. No military intervention needed. No, I wasn't saying to put the military there to tab. Saying you put for the vote. But
yeah,
like if they're talking about offering them $100,000 a person to join the U.S., why wouldn't they do it?
Well, I mean, which is fine. It comes out to like $5 billion or something like that, $5-6 billion, which I would take that to take an entire country rather than continually fund wars that are just going to do nothing for the United States, like $200-something billion to Ukraine for them to just be stalemate at this point. Yeah. That's basically what it is. They're just.
And that's the thing. A lot of things too big. Oh, look at what basically Russia's been fighting NATO without fighting NATO because NATO's been supplying with all the weapons and do stuff, and they're basically Ukraine is running out of people. But if Russia really wanted to destroy Ukraine, they could.
Listen, I'm an older gentleman. I'm a married gentleman now. But if I was a young gentleman and I saw Ukraine just taking all its dudes and shoving them out the front lines, and it was just all a bunch of hot Ukrainian women just standing around with no guys, I'm booking a flight to the Ukraine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because all the women.
Yes, because of all the women. Yeah.
Many people call Puerto Rico colony. Puerto Rico had many opportunities to become a state. As far as I know, they voted numerous times to not. They don't want to become a state. They like it the way it is. They like being like, hey, we're our own thing, but we're not, and we're this, and like
Puerto Rico is a typical Puerto Rican. We go, hey, we're a part of this, but we really don't want to do some of this stuff that you guys want to do. So if you just keep giving us money, and we'll just tag along, whatever you guys want. Well, sure, sounds like a good idea. No, we don't want to have to pay all this money to you guys because we know your government is bad. But if you want to keep giving us money, that's cool. We'll do that.
Yeah, Gunnan says it was Norway. The union with the Danes became the Kalmar Union until 1814. Yeah, but so it was Norway that had it, not the Danish. But then the Danes kept it after the breakup of the union or whatever. So anyway, point being though that like we could set it up where the same like Alaska has a fund that once you live in Alaska for a year or whatever, you're a resident, you get money from all the oil and the exploration, the mining and stuff, to go all the different. There's a percentage of everything that comes. Yeah, that you get a certain you get
like a stipend.
Stipend every year you get from the government. Yeah, because of all the fees and it's different from the mining and the gold mining, and the oil and the gas and everything. Yeah, you can do the same thing in Norway. So all the like 1%, 2% of everything goes back to the people of not Norway, Greenland.ورway. I'm taking over Norway now.
Take them all. Fuck them.
Yeah, no, the point of NATO was to end the Soviet Union, which ended 30 years ago. NA stands for North Atlantic. Ukraine is 6,000 miles. Yeah, I understand. Also, in 2001, October of 2001, Vladimir Putin told George Bush that he would join NATO to fight the terrorists after what happened on September 11th. And everybody had their, wait, if they join NATO, there's no reason for NATO.
Yeah.
That would have stopped, if that could have been the moment that changed. Think of how different the world would be if Russia was our partner and a part of NATO with all this other stuff instead of us pushing them to be with China, because that's what we've done.
Yeah, we've ostracized ourselves. But I mean, because we think we're the be all end all of everything, and for the most part we are. But sometimes, I mean, it's so funny because you hear people now go, Putin might be right, and Putin says some things that go, maybe he's not the baddie. He's like, yeah, America's turning into a place that you don't want to be. And he's right. And the things that he says are right. We're on a bad trajectory. And once again, we're killing ourselves from the inside. And that's the problem.
Yeah. Who are we more like as a who are I'm not.
None.
Maybe our country, our culture, or whatever, is more like the Russians than it is than a lot of other places that we're very close to.
Not for nothing, I don't see many dark-skinned people in Russia.
Well,
not gonna lie.
There's a few.
There's a couple. There's a neighborhood.
Yeah, there's a few. They had to bring them in for the track and field events and the
basketball.
Basketball. The Democrats would actually love PR to be a state because it's very liberal and they can give them one more senator. See, now I don't know if that's 100% true. I mean, the main the mayor of the main city there,
Ponce or San Juan.
Yeah, San Juan is a liberal leftist lady, if I remember, or was anyway. When I remember the hurricane, no problem. But they've had numerous Republican governors. So I don't know, of the state of the not state, but the territory. Governor of Puerto Rico. There's a governor elected to Puerto Rico, and that's
another thing is that they don't want Americans to come and ruin their culture.
Well, that's the thing. As soon as they become a state, people could just come there and they could live there. They don't need any. It's and things change. Isn't there some weird thing if you're on Social Security and you go to if you're on Social Security and you go to Puerto Rico, you lose your Social Security or something?
I believe
there's
so.
Some weird situation like that where they don't want people going there because there's some weird taxing thing in Puerto Rico where people are going there to shelter money because the way you're taxed is different. They could set up they could basically exempt you. Yeah, they could basically exempt you from federal income tax by coming in you through some loop. There's a loop. I was reading about it. I didn't really understand it. I'm not an expert on it, but there was some weird stuff there. People are complaining that there's people rich people basically going there to shelter money. Somehow.
I mean, come on. It's the running joke that you want to keep your money. You just put it in the Bahamas, that you just throw it offshore, and that's probably one of those things.
The current Puerto Rican governor is a Republican. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. And then Joe says Joe's also Puerto Rican, I believe. I hope I'm not. Yeah, Joe is a Puerto Rican. His wife was a Cuban, I think. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. If your guest thinks Puerto Ricans want to go along to get along, not belong, imagine Russians. We can't have them join NATO. We'd have no enemies. We've got enemies. I hate to break it to you. We just don't,
I'm Puerto Rican, Joe. That's why I made the joke, because I'm Puerto Rican.
I remember when you could joke about, Polacks and Italians and Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, and nobody cared because it was all funny and everyone would poke fun at each other. Now it's like, oh my God, you're a racist. Like, no, I'm not a racist.
My favorite joke still to this day is there's a Puerto Rican and a black guy in a car who's driving.
Go the police.
The cops.
Yeah.
Still one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard to this day, because I'm like, there's some realism in that.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, ever call like a Puerto Rican,
don't do it.
Dominican or
Don't do
Mexican? No, they get man. It's like, whoa, I'm sorry, I don't know. It's just,
Don't do it.
It says welfare is lost if you move there can't transfer it.
Yeah, and that's what a majority of these protesters are either paid or on some kind of government assistance. That's why you can have a protest at 1 PM.
Yeah, well, that's why they can't like this. That's the thing. The school, you go, how is it? Why is it all these old boomers? Because it's all the teachers' unions. First of all, that's who's doing this. A lot of them are being paid. This woman in Minnesota, they were getting paid to do with this. They were getting paid from either, like, it's the Party for Socialism and Liberation, PSL, that's doing a lot of this stuff and backing the money. A lot of it's coming from the same people, Code Pink, Neville Singham, well, Indivisible, but the guy that's connected to CCP, Neville Singham, whose wife runs Code Pink. That's so it's CCP. Like people talk about Code Pink, that was a protest of George Bush all the time. That's the Chinese Communist Party doing that. That's who's paying all them bills. Yes, old lady Cuban. All right. If you're a U.S. citizen, you work in Puerto Rico, none of your Puerto Rican earnings are federally taxable. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so.
Joe, I just thought you didn't. I didn't get the joke that I was Puerto Rican. That's all.
Well, see, because Joe's one of the people in the chat we play with when we do the thing with the white, not white thing. Where he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll take that guy. It's a Hispanic and stuff," and we go back and forth and everything white. And then, like, we'll say something. I'll look at this guy. Well, this guy's brown. This guy's clearly brown. And he says white. But then a person like you come on, I go, I can see they saying he's white. Look at him. You can say he's white. And it's say Hispanic. And I go, what's going on? It doesn't make any sense. When they're brown, they say white. When they're white, they say Hispanic. I don't get it.
My dad is from Ponce, and my dad is the only Puerto Rican I've ever known that burned. He was bald, and anytime we were in the sun for a long time. Me, my mom, my sister, brown. My dad, bright red.
Yeah.
I was like, are you really Puerto Rican?
Well, I think some of it has to do with, like, same thing. You see, like Claudia Sheinbaum in Mexico. She doesn't look like no Mexican. I ain't no Mexican. She don't look like a Mexican because that's the difference. You have the Spaniards that came, which basically Spain is Europeans. Yeah. It's not like, so they came in and different things, and then you have the actual, Tortino, I don't know. I don't know the names, but was like they call like the darker Hispanics, I don't know, like the natives down in Mexico, like where they're shorter, they're dark. I don't know.
But the gang.
But the Norteños, that's the gang.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know why. Besides all that, but that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. That's the difference where you see, and so basically, they're not. They're just because the Spanish came over and conquered all these places and made them speak Spanish doesn't really make them Spanish. They were basically Indians, or not Indians, but natives. Different.
Yeah, I think she's, part Jewish, part Mexican, and that's why it's her name's Feinbaum, but I think she's Jewish, and she's also, from what I heard, a murderer, because amazingly 126 candidates that were going to go against her just mysteriously passed away, and she won. Yeah,
well, she's connected to the cartels. I think that's why we have we have what's Ruben Gallego, senator from Arizona, who's related to the Slim Man. You know who the Slim Man is?
No.
Oh, the guy who used to run the Sinaloa cartel. The guy who started it. Gallego. Yeah.
Now in our government. See
In
what
our
I mean?
government. Yeah.
See
And
what I
then
mean?
supposedly Padilla is connected too to.
Of course, he's an anchor
another,
baby.
Yeah, but another one too. But look at this. Joe says, Jim, white-looking Mexicans are racist as shit. They treat the brown and Indian Mexicans like shit.
That's the same thing with blacks. They look down on the light colored blacks, and it's just like, and it's the same thing. It transcends ethnicity. Everybody looks down on the white. Like I know Colombia. I know this girl I grew up with. Her dad and her parents are. Her dad is 100% Colombian. Her mom's 100% Irish. She came out with blonde hair and green eyes. And when she told me she was Colombian, I go, "You're a liar." And then I met her dad, and I was like, "Yeah." And then they had a nice house. He drove a Porsche. I was like, "What does your dad do?" Travels.
Yeah, travels. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I don't know, but anyway. So yeah, Trump says Iranian officials reached out to the White House about a potential nuclear deal. We may meet with them. A meeting's being set up. They warned that Tehran would target U.S. military bases in the Middle East if attack were launched. Okay, and if they did that, we'd hit them at every level. We've never hit them before, Trump said. So I don't know. I mean, I think they should be worried that Iran has enough nuclear stuff stockpiled that they could create a dirty bomb. I don't know if they have the trigger mechanism and stuff. That's the hardest part, basically, is the trigger mechanism to create the actual bomb to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as but a dirty bomb they could do.
Trump went in and took Maduro just so he can prove just how big he really is.
Yeah.
He went in there and said, "Listen, all you people thinking about coming to America to do harm on America, let me show you exactly what we can do." And he took Maduro so that way the world would go, "Yeah, I don't think we're going to bother with them." So.
Yeah. Wow.
He was in the coffee business, Joe. Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's go.
That Cafe Bustelo.
Yeah. I'm looking for it here. So. Wait. No. I kind of got sidetracked tonight. I didn't do any of the stuff I was supposed to do.
My apologies.
No, it's not your fault.
You usually have guests? You have guests on at all?
Sometimes I have guests on. I just, here, we're going to do some of this stuff. We're going to go through some of this stuff.
I gotta be out soon. I gotta wake up for the
problem.
9 to 5.
So you played Arc Raiders too, right?
Yeah, I play Arc Raiders. We were playing Helldivers for a while, but that went all squirrely. That game was okay for the first couple months, and then it got real bad. Like they made the people bigger, but the ability for them to run slower. So it made it seem that you weren't going as fast as you were. The robots, some of the things to kill are worse than a matriarch. In that game, so they kind of nerfed it a little bit. So I haven't played that much. I've been playing Ark because it's one of the first games that I've actually gotten into.
I'm gonna tell you, for the first, I had the game when it came out. I got it the day it came out because I got it free with my computer, and it was like a code or whatever for free. And I started playing it, and you know how you start and you go to the thing, and the guy shoots you, and then you got to reach the door, and then they kill you or whatever, and then you come back. Like that kept happening, and I kept starting over because I thought I was doing something wrong. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start over, and I'll figure out how to do it. So I tried shooting them first and doing stuff and doing different things, and I tried to pry the door a little bit and wait for him and wait. Like I kept doing it over and over again. And I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm getting killed and they're taking all my shit, and I didn't know that was just like a opening scene. Like there's no explanation to the game anywhere. There's no this is how the game works, this is the play, this is what you do. It's basically all just trial and error, figuring out and talking to people and say, no, this is how it goes. Because like a month I did it I'd play it, and then that had happened. I go, fuck this game, I can't figure this out. Why I don't want to play a game, I'm gonna get killed like this right away. And then finally I saw someone else play. I go, wait, what is this now? This is the game? Like, this is what happened. This is what happens after that. I'm like, all right, I guess I have to go past that point then.
More.
There's more to the game than this. I didn't know what it was.
It's listen. I like it. I mean, because for me, like I was playing, like I said, the Division. And in the Division, it's kind of this. You're going and killing people and gangs. There's gangs and the second one was New York, and you're going and killing gang members in New York, and then through that you can there's stuff to loot and stuff like that. And I was playing with my ex-father-in-law, and he would go, would you stop looting everything? Can we actually kill people? I was like, yeah, hold on. And then I would just go. So for me, Arc Raiders is great because I like to go and what do I get in here? Oh, if I miss this, and so it kind of gets my ADHD kind of wrangled in where I'm just always trying to loot things. And then once I'm done,
that's why I think, like, if they really want to make Arc Raiders better, they need to have more quests. Just keep the quest going. Just keep more quests. Like, don't have the quest stop. Just that gives people stuff to do, and they need to take the 75, the level 75 cap off, because that's just dumb. Like,
well, I've seen,
I mean, I guess maybe they don't want people to be able to get every possible, skill point put in there and get everything full to the max, but why not?
Well, because it's a kind of a strategy and to see where you go. And that's why I think they make you do it over again, and you can change it to try different ways because if you gave everybody max to be everything, then you have people who play it all the time with max everything. And then they can be able to just go and kill everybody. And
well, that's why they claim they had the aggression-based matchmaking, where if you're doing PvP, they're going to send you that way, and if you're doing the PvE, they keep you over with these people that do the PvE.
I've noticed that a lot, like as solos. If you do solo, the fighting between people, it stays away. In the last couple days, I've been shot by one person in solos, or two people in solos, and the one guy was a mistake. I misheard him. He said, "Did you shoot at me before?" And I thought he said, I asked him if he can help me find something, and I thought he said, "Can you have my back for me?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And then he shot me, and I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on?" He goes, "Yeah, you said you shot me." I was like, "No, I thought you said, can you help me, or I can help you." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Can you revive me?" He's like, "I'll go look for a whatchamacallit, one of those stim things." And I'm like, "All right, I'm dead anyway." So, but yeah, listen, I think it's fun. Like I said, I don't play as much as a lot of people get to, being a father of a 1.5-year-old. So yeah, I don't get to play as much. Try to play as much as I can, but trying to build a podcast empire.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just trying to get a something. I don't know. I mean, I would like to have get to a point where you have like 1,000 people watching it. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah. I mean, listen, we did this to inform the public of what's going on, and we always tell everybody we're not the be all end all. We don't know everything. We don't.
Joe says you go into the white column.
I do. Listen, how many times even by my family have told me I forgot I was Puerto Rican because I'm on a certain side that they're not on, and I'm the bad one. This is why I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, and the rest of my family's back. But it's funny because most of my family's back in Jersey, New York, and a lot of my cousins who are around my age, they moved to Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, and I'm going, I guess you guys were more like me than you thought you were, because everybody's telling me I think wrong. I'm just against people, and then people finally just get to a point where they're like, this is ridiculous, and I go, yeah, listen, I've been telling you this for years. You didn't want to listen, then yeah, you were right. I know I was right.
Yeah, I realized when I was very young, living in Chicago, that the Democrat Party just wants to control you. And everything you do in every way, shape, or form, what you eat, what you buy, where you live, what kind of car, everything they do. I mean, look at it, everything. What kind of car you drive, what kind of stove you can put in your house. I mean, that's all is about control.
Whether or not you have an air conditioning. What up, Neuro?
Yeah. So I don't know, but anyway, so look at this. So the socialist mayor of Seattle posted a photo of her on her official governor account, posing with a left-wing extremist holding up a sticker from the terror group Antifa, telling comrades to carry out arson attacks. It's right there. Nazis own flammable cars. It's a politician standing with someone holding a sign saying Nazis own flammable cars. Well, everybody owns flammable cars. So what are you saying, that if the car is flammable, they're a Nazi? I don't get it.
They just will go with whatever anybody tells them. They will just do whatever somebody on the left tells them to. I mean, remember, vote blue no matter who? It should tell you exactly how they think.
And look at this is a shirt. Look at the sweater she's wearing. It says something about ice on it.
It says fight ice.
But underneath it has some other words. Like, so somebody put fight over the top of something else. That was a different sweatshirt. You can see the words. Like, I don't know what it is. Defend ice maybe or something. And she put fight ice. Anyway, so this is just crazy stuff. And then,
oh, wait, there was a community note on that one. I joined ICE. I joined ICE out. There, right there. Go back down.
This one?
Where her actual Mayor Katie.
Oh, Mayor Katie's?
Yeah, down there. Yeah.
I joined ICE out today's vigil to grieve for Renee Nicole Good and others who have lost their lives to ICE, to mourn and to organize. Everyone who makes Seattle home, this is your city. You belong here. Well, wait a minute. They go around telling ICE you don't belong here to get out, but yet everyone else. So the federal, no one grasps the fact that the Democrats are doing the same exact thing they did in 1862, telling the federal government to get out. We control this, and you don't. Like, how did it? Over what? Over their new slaves, the illegal aliens that they force to work and they treat like shit and they rob and rip off, and this is like a repeat.
For a bunch of people who tell people on a different side that they don't understand history, they're going to be on the wrong side of history. Boy, they don't know history.
Yeah,
I said that. What is the
community note says it should be noted that the sign in the lower right says Nazis own flammable cars. This appears to encourage arson. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Yes. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole community note thing, like, I don't know, Elon needs to fix it because it got taken over, and it's been like they have a whole group of leftists that they target and they go, okay, you do this, and they go and brigade the community notes. So,
well, it used to be people who they were asked to, because I had a friend who was a community noticed or whatever it is, and yeah, they'll go. Some of the notes are just like, well, he said it was Saturday when it was really Thursday. It's like, do we really need to be community noted on what day it was?
Oh yeah, Spud says, I keep saying that, Jim. They've already fired on Fort Sumter. Yeah, they have. Democrats haven't been this mad since we took their slaves away. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, so look at this. So an active duty Navy officer who violated the military code of conduct by wearing her uniform to make a video condemning ICE has been identified as Petty Officer Catalina Sauer of San Diego. I'd say it's not a Navy officer. It's a Navy non-commissioned officer. It's a petty officer is E4, E5, E6. Would be a chief petty officer E7, but.
And she said it in the video. I'm doing this in my uniform to show you how. There it is. That's the video,
so we're going to play the video. Yeah, but this is like, if they, like, I don't know. I mean, is she still in the, like, she might have, here's most likely, I would say she's probably no longer in the Navy and she just still had a uniform, put it on a disc, because that's a lot of time what they do. Because if you're active duty and you do this, like,
yeah,
you got problems. Like, you, at a minimum, you're going to get a captain's mast where they're going to, reduce your rank, take your pay, put you in the brig for 30 days, and there ain't shit you can do about it. You can't appeal because it's the military. It's not, I'm going to go to federal court. It has nothing to say about military justice. That's like Kelly is trying to sue about the UCMJ. They did an investigation on him, and they censured him, and they're going to, reduce his pay and retirement because of the violation or whatever. And he's going suing over, you can't do that to me. And it's like, well, the military has specific rules that the federal district court has no authority to do anything about. It doesn't. It's supposed to go like from the military. It goes to a special appeals court somewhere. It's not the same way. So let's hear what she says.
And yes, I am in uniform on purpose because it is important to me for you guys to understand who this is coming from.
What the fuck is going on?
I speak on the administration, so I will keep it very vague. But I want to talk about ICE and not the shit on the ground. What happened in Minneapolis cannot be excused. It should not be excused. And I go as far as to say that people who are defending it, saying that it should have happened or that she deserved it, you should not associate with those people because it tells you a lot about their morals, and along with other things that are morally wrong with.
I mean, this whole thing is what happened when they made joining the military a social experiment type of thing with people to say like, we're going to give you college, we're going to do all these different things, come in, you get this, and it wasn't about,
Now,
you always had families and people who served, and it was because of loyalty to the country, to serve and defend the country for generations. And it was always the same very small group of people that always served. And now they've opened up, well, we're really serving the military. It's nothing to do with serving the country or anything. It's about what I can get for myself.
Now,
that's what we see.
Do you think she is out, or do you think that this is where the military has been going for years? Is that now
the military's been going there, but they turned it around.
But now, I mean, listen, she looks like a young girl. I think, what did you say, 22, something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, well, here's her, all right, and her boyfriend. You see with the nose ring and tattoo. This is her and her boyfriend, boy, girl. I don't know. So,
well, I think, to be honest, do I put it past her to not still be in the military and make that in her uniform? Yeah, because they are pretty dumb, and they think that rules don't apply to them. And she should absolutely get what she deserves. Yeah. And if that, whatever it is, you sign your life away when you sign that dotted line.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Letting a car pass in front of her to get away from ICE. Whatever you want to call it. Yes, maybe she was just trying not to get her vehicle hit by another car. Sure, she was letting them go, whatever. There was no warrant for them to get out of their car and stop
no warrant for them to get out of their car.
That is the first point that I want to make. Is that
you're a retard. They don't need a fucking warrant to make a traffic stop when someone is actively committing a felony. She was committing a felony in front of them.
Them stopping her was unwarranted regardless because she did not fit the description of the people they were looking for to begin with. Point number two being, from whatever angle you want to look at, right? Yes, the non-law enforcement dude who was standing in front of the vehicle when she began to turn out.
The non-law enforcement dude, yeah, because it's a federal law enforcement officer, but it's not law enforcement though, because it's like saying, well, the ATF has the ATF agent only has its alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So if you shoot somebody, so if you strangle somebody in front of them, they can't do anything about it.
I remember 3-4 years ago when they were talking about new IRS agents that they were going to hire, the 80,000 new IRS agents that they were going to give guns to, so that way they can go around and, if you weren't paying your taxes, these guys with guns were going to come. And
if you got $601 Venmo to you, they would come and get you.
Yes. So, what?
Yeah. The non-law enforcement guy. It says police. They're all sworn federal officers. They swear to uphold the Constitution and all the laws. She's maybe fix that. The only way to fix that would be with a blanket party, and maybe she falls down a ladder.
Blanket parties.
People used to fall down ladders all the time. It was a shame.
My ex-brother-in-law was a corrections officer. And he was a sheriff. And he said that one time some guy was spitting at them while they were in the courthouse, and they went into the elevator, and he just so happened to fall into a couple of their fists about 5 or 6 times. It just happened. He just, might have.
Well, they keep saying, like, oh, these are U.S. citizens. They're being arrested by ICE. ICE has no authority over your system. Like, the guy punched him. Like, well, then, he assaulted a federal officer. He broke federal law. They can arrest him.
It's because they have these morons
saying this shit like, oh, they're not real police. Yeah. They're not real police. They can't do anything.
You have government agencies going out there, mayors, congressmen, senators, going and telling them that they're not cops. They're not law enforcement. They're ICE agents. They're Homeland Security. They're federal officers. If you break city ordinance, if you break city laws, no, they cannot arrest you. When you attack them, they are federal agents. That's why a lot of the times they won't do anything, which pisses me off. But unfortunately, I guess they can't do anything about it until they, have an incident with them. And it's been brewing for a long time. Once again, that guy that was hit by her had just been run over 6 months ago by another person.
Yeah, 32 stitches. Yeah.
Yeah. So
dragged.
There was another incident that came out again, that just recently came out, that another cop was murdered because she was at the same angle that he was, and the guy ran her over and killed her.
Yeah, it's because she didn't react. She didn't fire. Yeah. So Jonah says, recognition of injustice. Individuals may experience cognitive dissonance when they perceive systemic unfairness. Instead of resolving this discomfort by justifying the system, they may rationalize the resistance, seeking to align their beliefs and action with the pursuit of justice. Well, yeah, they all want it. They assume, because, like there's these people think like all these ICE people and CBP were just hired by Trump. They're just Trump people. Trump just hired them all. It's like, well, these people have been doing this job for 20, 30 years, the same job. All this shit has happened in the last 10 years with the sanctuary cities where they've had to go out and actually get the people. They used to just get a call and be like, they say, yeah, this guy is illegal. They say, okay, well, here, as soon as you're done with them, call us and we'll come get them. Yeah. Well, they're refusing to do it and releasing them back out into the public, so they have to go get them.
Yeah, remember the 4 guys that attacked the cop in New York City and then were let out the next day, throwing up
going like this to the camera?
Yeah. And, and so what are you supposed to do? What are people supposed to do? Are they just we're supposed to just sit there and go, oh, thank you. 12 to 20 million illegal people walking across that border, and we're just supposed to go, well, we're not going to do anything. They care about this lady. You have fucking stupid Mark Ruffalo wearing a Be Good pin and talking about how this administration is this Gestapo and everything like that. Meanwhile, you had Biden's. It's Trump's DOJ, but you had Biden's DOJ, which, he said he had nothing to do with or didn't have, he didn't tell his people what to do, going after people at PTA meetings for voicing their opinions about, boys and girls' locker rooms.
Oh, she fired a round, but it was too late. Okay, that woman. I didn't hear a gunshot. Never thought I'd say this, but these younger adults would have never been able to handle how it was when we were in their age.
No. There was something in that water that used to be that made people actually be kind of sane. Well, a majority of the population be sane.
It was known if you got like I said, I got tased. It was known that was going to happen, and it was just the price of doing business. Like if you resisted arrest or fucked around and fought the cops, you were gonna take a beating. Mm-hmm. That was just accepted, and it wasn't like, oh, whatever. It's like it was because of what you did. They didn't just come up to you and start beating you. It was because you threw a punch or told them to fuck off, spit at them, something like that. Was just, that's all in the game.
There must have been one time where the shit'ems, might have thrown a punch at a cop, and maybe 4 or 5 cops decided to beat him. All them shit'ems. Fucking Kenny. I love Kenny.
Yeah. So what does it say? BGA program badge of bravery. But anyway, is this woman fucked? Well, I haven't watched the whole video. Like, she tried to say she's not talking about politics because she knows she'll get in trouble if she talks about politics. I don't know if what she's saying crosses the line. You're not supposed to do anything in uniform.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to attend protests. You're not supposed to attend any type of rallies. You're not supposed to attend any of these things. So I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on military law, but I would just say if you're in the military at all and you want to say something, you don't do it in your uniform.
Yeah, I saw a guy in the Marines was talking about that dude Chris Valenti, who goes all over TikTok and just like he literally goes, "Oh yeah, the Venezuelans are the American Marines. There's 4,000 going into Venezuela. They just got the Wagner group in Venezuela. Good luck, Marines." And then the Marine stitched him and was just like, "You're a fucking dickhead." He goes, "I'm not going to say anything political. Wasn't in uniform. Wasn't in uniform." He goes, "I'm a Marine. I'm not going to say anything political, but you want death on us? And everything he was talking about was, that the United States Marines are good and everything like that, and what they can and can't do, and blah 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 blah. Nothing like this. He didn't tell anybody that they should be doing this to ICE agents, shouldn't be doing that to ICE agents. Just hey, this is what we're trained to do. This is what we do.
It's a whole propaganda thing that's been going on, and like they tried to do with that one cop who messed around. It was a cop and his son playing around, and he pretended to handcuff his kids, and they tried to claim it was ICE arrested black kids, and it's like I don't want to see any kids get hurt. Like the whole shit that happened in Palestine with whatever. I'm like, I don't believe them. It's been proven that they'll show stuff and then they see later it was all like Pollywood, they called it, or whatever. Basically, was like just for propaganda purposes to try to smear things. Like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm not there. I don't want them killing kids, but I don't know. So,
but if they're the ones that are sitting there like these retards who are going to fucking protest now with their kids strapped to their front and going, ICE pepper sprayed my child because you brought your child to a protest. Why are you bringing children to a protest?
Yeah, that's nuts. This is a theory called system justification theory by a lefty school looking at conservative values and the views of justice. I reversed it entirely with AI, and that was one section of the results. Okay. Yeah. Like I don't get it. Let's see.
Very well could have slightly tapped his thigh with the edge of her bumper.
Slightly tapped this guy with her bumper.
It does not warrant being shot in the face several times. Okay? Do you want to know why? His life wasn't in danger. It is not self-defense.
A 4,000-pound car coming at you puts your life in danger. That's it.
What is it? Scott Blandino said it the best. He goes. He had a speech. I don't know if you saw it. He had like a 4 or 5 minute speech where he said that he is the protester. He did it for years. And you know what he did? Whenever the cop said, stand up, put your hands behind your back, you know what he did? He stood up, put his hands behind his back. He said, yeah, you're protesting and you're going against something. So you're going to go to jail. What you're going to do is you're going to go in, you do what they tell you to do, and then you get back out. You go back and do the things that you were doing before. And then when the cop goes to arrest you, you turn around, you put your hands behind your back, you get arrested, you get out, and then you continue to do that. But you obey when the cop tells you to do something, and you stay alive. You don't end up dead. Unfortunately, these morons don't understand that. They think they're some kind of martyr. But with that, I have to get out of here. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you guys.
I'm on. Hold on. I'm on. I'll give you my Arc Raiders thing.
Okay.
Let me find it. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's Jim Tells You.
What's the number?
Yeah, I'm looking for the number. I think it's I think it's Jim Tells You 6213, but I'm not 100% sure. That's what I want to. Damn it.
You're good. Just send me it in on.
All right, yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you on X. Sorry.
All right, man. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you. See you guys later. Appreciate you. SimpleDavy.com. Find out where I am. Have a nice one.
Take care. All right, everybody. Need a practice chat to nuke, not me, but the chat for practice. Okay. He wasn't spamming, so it's gonna leave it alone. The guy comes in every night, does that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big ban people type of thing, but it's getting annoying. I've been to anti-vax protests. We appreciate the cops. Got the feeling they sided with us in U.S. flags. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see what else she says.
If your life is not in danger. By the time he pulled out his weapon and shot her, she was already turned the opposite direction.
That's not true. That's a lie. He pulled out his gun when she put it in drive. You can see it on the video.
Going away. He was out of the way of the vehicle. You can
That's
argue
not
that
true.
all you want.
The first shot was fired exactly when he was hit by the car.
But regardless, he wouldn't have fucking died. And that is one of those things that you say, well, she was legally in the wrong. If she was legally in the wrong, that could have been fought legally in court. Had she been alive today. How is that, like, how do you guys not understand that? And then there's going to be people who are saying, well, this is the first time it happened. Maybe it's just this one guy. The reason I'm saying this specifically, and you guys can call it fear-mongering or whatever the fuck you want, I'm now scared. I am a white woman who works in the military. Here's my rank, here's my fucking branch, here's my name, whatever. I live in San Diego. And today, there were protests over ICE. They're here. In the event that I get stopped in an instant like that, where I'm caught up somewhere where I'm not trying to be, whether I'm in uniform or not, I'm now terrified that that is going to happen to me. You want to know why? Because if I am in a situation where an unmarked vehicle pulls up...
They were not unmarked vehicles. They all had police. Oh my God. All right. She's
on me, and a man, several men wearing masks, which they're not allowed to do, pulls a gun on me, I'm taking the fuck off. And legally, they have no warrant to stop me.
They don't need a warrant to stop you. Was this person fucking retarded? What? How did you make it through life this fucking retarded?
Trying to get in my vehicle and take me out of it, or shoot me. But it's now a problem that will continue to happen. And even in like the calmer sense of things, there was a situation that happened maybe a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I don't remember because it's hard to keep up with all of this shit. There was a sailor, a U.S. Navy sailor in Virginia Beach, who was pulled over by an ICE agent who was in uniform. And they suspected him of being an undocumented immigrant. He showed them their CAC, your common access card. Every single military member has one, which is your identification saying you are legally in the United States military. That was not good enough. This person was arrested and detained by ICE for being brown. Okay? I'm half Hispanic. Would you have guessed? No. But now, white people, this white woman was shot in broad daylight because she was not complying. They are not law enforcement. They are not the police. They are not the military. They are not...
They are law enforcement. They are the police. They are not the military.
A sanctioned party who dictates those things. Regardless if there was a police officer, I would still be saying the same shit.
Oh.
His life is not in danger. She should not have died. She was not the target demographic of what they're going after, which is unfortunate to say in itself.
Her target demographic is criminals, and they went after her because she was committing a felony in front of them. They were obstructing and resisting ICE. It's a federal law enforcement agency with powers to arrest. They're an 1811 federal law enforcement agency.
But it should have never happened, therefore it should not be defended. I think that the protests and the riots are okay in this instance.
Okay, so she just said that right there. That right there is enough for her to be UCM Jade, to be article. Yeah. She just said, I think the riots are okay. So that's enough right there. That's it. Bye-bye. Enjoy Leavenworth. She'd make as much sense at 100x speed. Yeah. So let's see here. All right. I'm going to go a little long tonight. We didn't hit the goal, but Rapunzel, let your hair down. That's okay. Never mind. Maryland governor denies multiple DHS employees whistleblowers' allegations of fraudulent SNAP schemes, yet Governor Moore's inspector general had the senior officials fired to cover up the fraud so that they avoid massive federal SNAP penalties that could cost Maryland $240 million. It's every Democrat state.
Multiple whistleblowers told Spotlight on Maryland that two senior state officials allegedly hatched a plan to maintain a high error rate on food stamp payments by not correcting the errors, hoping to delay $240 million in federal penalties.
The petty officer,
Former
third class.
employees, including a senior official at the Department of Human Services, have accused two of their superiors at DHS of the plan to buy enough time for the penalties to potentially be canceled after President Donald Trump left office. The former senior official told Spotlight on Maryland they informed DHS they were going to tell the inspector general about the alleged corruption. About a month later, they say they were placed on administrative leave and terminated, they believe, as an act of retaliation. In multiple statements to Spotlight on Maryland, neither DHS nor the governor's office denied the allegations until Friday, when Governor Moore denied the claims in a sit-down with Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost.
With the issue of SNAP funding and the whistleblower allegations that top officials within DHS were knowingly trying to keep these errors in place and potentially putting that on the backs of taxpayers, did you know that was happening?
Well, no, and also I want to be clear that that's not the case.
So the whistleblower allegations are false.
No, what we have actually uncovered the fact that the allegations that were being made, those things were not happening.
The governor says an investigation has been done and the public will see the findings. The Department of Human Services spokesperson Ben Schneider adding Friday, Quote, the notion that DHS employees were directed to do anything other than continue efforts to drive down the SNAP payment error rate is patently false. However, Spotlight on Maryland did not report that DHS employees were directed to maintain a high SNAP payment error rate.
This is wrong. It's not just morally wrong, but in some cases, it could potentially be criminally wrong. And we wonder, Governor Wes Moore, what will be enough to get you to fire the Secretary of Human Services?
In response, the Maryland Freedom Caucus has issued 3 formal letters, one to the governor calling for the removal of DHS Secretary Rafael Lopez, a letter to U.S. Department of Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins requesting federal oversight of Maryland's SNAP administration, and a letter to President Donald Trump and Congressman Andy Harris informing them of the situation and the caucus actions. Delegate Kathy Shalega says this is about more than politics and needs to be taken seriously.
Something must be done to protect the public and protect taxpayers and make sure that people in state government are not frauding, scheming, and cooking up plans to take money away from taxpayers and programs that are meant to feed poor people.
Wow. That's crazy. One second. That's crazy. Cool sound effects, yeah. So, in order for a yeoman to wear a military uniform, I think they should take one punch from 5 different men and not be allowed to cry or be knocked out cold if they can wear the uniform. Okay. E4 and talking all that shit should be a 2-hour court-martial. Leavenworth looks beautiful this time of year. Like, at a minimum, I think she should get a captain's mast and then, 30 days in the brig, reduction of rate, loss of pay for 3 months. That's quick and easy, and it's over in 10 minutes. I mean, she could demand a court-martial if she wants. Eliminate the fraud. We have no deficit. It's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. It's really crazy. Minnesota AG asked the courts to ban DHS from sending any more agents into the state. DHS's racist arrests are in violation. We asked the courts to end the surge. Yeah. It's racist. It's racist.
On our local law enforcement is a violation of the 10th Amendment and the sovereign laws and powers of the Constitution grants to states. We allege that DHS's use of excessive and lethal force, their warrantless racist arrests, their targeting of our courts, our churches, houses of worship, and schools are a violation of the Administrative Procedures Act on arbitrary and capricious federal actions. And we ask that the courts will end the surge of thousands of DHS agents into Minnesota. We ask the courts to end the DHS unlawful behavior in our state, the intimidation, the threats, the violence. We ask the courts to end the tactics on our places of worship, our schools, our courts, our marketplaces, our hospitals, and even funeral homes. On our local law.
He should be indicted for conspiracy to commit fraud and for the other crimes when he covered up the fraud and told them that he would take care of it. She wants that. Court-martial her, then her life could be devoted to being a social just warrior. Well, when is Minnesota in charge of immigration? They're not. I blew it the first time. Yeah. Keith Ellison says the deployment of federal agents has caused serious harm. What caused Minnesota tremendous harm was the theft of billions of taxpayer dollars at the hands of Somalis, Keith. If you'd done your job, they wouldn't be there. That's right. If a state is giving driver's license to illegal aliens, they're also giving driver's license to foreign spies. We saw this. The Biden-era Massachusetts driver's license carrying Chinese illegal spy was taking pictures of our B-2 bombers and of our... we saw this last night. I don't want to replay it. Fuck it. We'll replay it.
Illegal alien and Chinese national Qilin Wu was arrested for taking videos of Whiteman Air Force Base's perimeter fencing and B-2 bombers. He disclosed that he had previously visited Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, where he admitted that he photographed multiple military aircraft. Further, a background check found that Wu had been warned for camping in Key West, Florida, in a location situated directly within the pathway used by naval aircraft for takeoff and landing operations. When interviewed, Wu presented a Chinese passport and Massachusetts driver's license. Wu stated that he had served 2 years in the Central Military Band of the People's Liberation Army of China, but witnessed troubling events that led him to conclude conditions in China were no longer good. Wu said he traveled from China to Ecuador in 2023. From Ecuador, he traveled by bus through Mexico to the U.S., then walked across the border in the area of Nogales, Arizona. Wu entered illegally, was arrested, and then released for removal proceedings originally set for 2027.
Wow. I don't know, StreamYard has acted very weird tonight. I don't know what's going on. I can't control the chats. So that's odd. Another mic drop. A lot of celebrities were wearing these buttons that say "Be Good" in honor of Renee Good. What about the Angel Moms? How about an Angel Mom pin? They never seem to talk about that.
But here's just an image. Last night it was sort of an underlying thread through the Golden Globes last night. And a lot of the celebrities were wearing these buttons that say "Be Good" in honor of Renee Good. I was just curious what your reaction is to that, Commander, before we do that segment.
Sure. You know, where are the pins for Jacqueline Nungare, Molly Tibbetts, Kate Steinle, Officer Singh, Miss Marin, and all those other individuals that were killed, maimed, and raped by illegal aliens? And what about the Angel Moms? How about an Angel Mom pin? They never seem to talk about that. I've got a problem with that.
Yeah. Well put. Good argument. Commander Bavino, thank you very much. Good to have you here today. Thank you, sir. But here's just an image. Last night it was
Oh no, I'm saying she's a petty officer second class, so an E5. I thought I only saw one chevron, so I thought it was E4. That's her. Stand up and listen. Be mad. Oh yeah. Okay. Joe Kernan shuts down Mark Warner on deportations. Trump has supported and sent back 354,000 people. Barack Obama, your guy, as you call Trump, my guy, is 5 million over 8 years. What changed with the Democrats? Yeah, let's see.
That going city to city to try to disrupt authorities from lawfully executing whatever their job is. Disrupt, stop, obstruct what they're trying to do. That's against the law. That's not something that Democrats or anyone should be ginning up and telling people to do. Now, I know Trump has deported or sent back 400,000 people. Barack Obama, your guy, as you called Trump, my guy, it was 5 million. It was 5 million over 8 years. Now we're at 350,000. What changed with Democrats on? I know Biden let in 12 million. Is it about votes? Why did these people? Why isn't it a crime to be here? Not that they haven't committed a crime.
The border being as open as it was under Biden was one of the reasons Trump got elected. But the idea...
So you're glad it's closed now?
Do I think we ought to not have a fully open border? Absolutely. I've said that all along.
So with the 12 million that came in, what do we do?
The question I have for you is closing the border versus sending out ICE agents across the country to randomly pick up people based on quotas that have committed no crime.
How did Obama deport 5 million?
Done at the border. I think it was a lot of that was done at the border.
They were sent back.
And the truth is, I don't think the American people signed up for this.
We did. I voted for this.
You see people who are working. There ought to be
illegally working.
Legality. We've worked on that. We've screwed that up. Immigration reform for years, both sides. But the idea that we're going to send in these ICE agents. By the way, Joe, do you realize ICE used to take 5 to 6 months to get trained? They've now lowered the training period to 47 days. Why 47 days? Because Donald Trump's the 47th president. Tell me that's a rational approach.
I'm not obviously. I'm not.
I think he's lying about that.
Rational approach, but
Joe, you can't pick your facts.
Oh, yeah. Everyone I know signed up for exactly this. Yes. Well, everybody, we've been going for almost 3 hours. We didn't even approach to come close to any sort of a goal. So I think that's going to be it for tonight. I apologize to everybody who didn't like the show tonight and left or whatever they did. But, it is what it is. I guess maybe I shouldn't stream every night. It seems like, I don't know, people don't like it. So maybe I'll just do a couple nights a week. We'll see you maybe, I don't know, when no, you're fine, Audra. It's fine. But I don't know. Wait, Jim. Wait for what? I like the show. Okay, I appreciate it. Sanctuary State failure, Gavin Newsom. Oh, you loved it. Okay. All right. Gavin Newsom's brand, Alvaro Rodriguez, an illegal alien previously ordered removed and convicted of 2 DUIs. Even if that was Trump trolling another one. Oh, what's up? Okay. Enjoyed it. Always do. Okay. All right. We appreciate it. All right. That's cool. Theory Thursday. Yeah. Is now charged with 3rd DUI in the death of an 8-year-old girl. Social media shows beer cans in the car, bragging about being pulled over without a license, calling out Trump, and celebrating having his ankle monitor removed after just 25 days. You need to get Rich and Davey on as well. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I can't play that music. So this person comes over, gets a 3rd DUI, beer cans, order removed. Look at it. Yeah. This is who they're defending. Or go on their show. Yes, it will. Rant. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, Neurodivergent one said, here's a 5. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much. And with that means we're now $64 away from the goal. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Could have probably saved it for another night, though. I mean, being all honest with you. To refresh, to get the rant, I had to refresh. That's why I asked you to wait. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. So let me go back, do a couple more of these little clips and see. Here's this TikTok with 18,000 followers showing all this stuff. Like, why this isn't enough to just go pick them up and arrest them and throw them out of the country, I don't know. Another woman who was being pulled over by the feds decided it was a better idea to try to run and lose them instead of ending up crashing her vehicle to a pole and getting arrested anyway. The demon rats have caused all this. They told people it's okay to run. I can't breathe, she says.
You guys know what's going on? Fucking kill somebody, man. Garbage.
Really? You saw the whole thing?
I couldn't see mostly because I'm right there on Concordia. Yeah. But I could see them get out of the fucking car.
Well, how did this happen?
I think they fucking driving by. She was pleading. She was lying right here, and she was pleading.
Oh, pleading. Yeah.
You were here? No, I was coming out of my house right here. I'm right down on the corner, man. And I just come out and I heard all the honking. And I could see all these fucking agents.
Oh, motherfuckers, yeah.
Fucking terrible. So there was a young mom driving this?
A young mom. How do you know? Yeah, driving it.
Okay. Here, I'll stop recording. I won't even put you in the video. Look what they did to that shit. Okay. Look what they did to that shit.
Yeah, they did that. They took the car and wrapped it around a pole.
Tail end of this. I came around the block. There was a woman lying on the ground, surrounded by about half a dozen agents, pleading, and now she's gone. Look at this. Welcome to Minneapolis.
Yeah, welcome to Minneapolis.
St. Paul.
Yeah. Oh my god. These people are all fucking retarded. American criminals are what the fuck? What about us? Deport them all. I want some. Yeah. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Well, everybody, it's been 3 hours. I want to recap context. Yeah, she was chased and she tried to run from the cops and smashed into a pole, and so they arrested her. But yeah, the cops did it. It's all the cops' fault. Wow. Anyway, everybody, I want to thank everybody who was here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow night, maybe. We'll see what happens. Thanks for being here. Good night. Come on back for Jim to tell you the news.